because my mom's sick, and hopefully she'll be okay tomorrow.
Oh,
He's got his number up in there in the
Yeah,
front
it's
window.
supposed to close today, but I thought he was going to have to take her to the hospital last
See if
night.
we get
Or,
different price.
okay, blood pressure was 88 over 54.
It's on his building, not out front. Never mind the light there by UCB though.
Bill's not here.
He's on call, so he might be a minute, but.
Shall we go ahead?
I'm doing good, thanks.
Yes,
You
sir.
can note that he's here. I mean, I'm sure he'll be.
Call the June 24th Lawrenceburg Redevelopment Commission meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Tom Rogers,
Here.
Aaron Cook,
Here.
Bill Bruner,
He's here, he's just
He's
in the back
Bruner,
for a
yeah.
second.
Leslie Votaw,
Here.
Mike Lawrence,
Here.
Tony Bryant,
Here.
Pat Myers is on vacation.
Have a couple of announcements. Our next regular meeting for the Lawrenceburg Redevelopment Commission meeting will be July the 8th at 5 o'clock. And the next walkthrough at the Event Center site will be on July 16th at 4:30. We'll move on now for approval of minutes from the previous meeting.
I think I have one correction. Hold on one second.
Mm-hmm. 24th.
Yeah, on the last page,
Yep.
second paragraph, it says, Mike Clark asked the LRC to give the city attorney permission to transfer the trailer park and parking lot to the city of Lawrenceburg. That was just one portion of the parking lot, right?
Right.
Yeah. It wasn't the trailer park and the parking lot.
It was just
Part of the parking lot.
part of the parking lot?
Yeah.
Okay,
Whole craft property.
okay.
You might want to just put that in there, the whole craft property. So,
And that was all.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have a motion for approval with the correction?
So move.
First and second, all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We'll move on to new business, which is approval of claims for the event center. Tim Jensen.
Thank you, guys. So we're back here today, this meeting. I appreciate you guys having this one so we can get this one processed and get it going. But what's in your packet, it's two separate things. One is the listing of all of the, I believe it's 18 different pay applications that have been processed to date. And then I think behind that, you actually have pay app 18. We actually only included the AIA documents for each one of the different subcontractors that's in there, but you can see what that packet looks like. Whenever we get it from Messer and we review it before it goes to Mario and his guys to review, there's, I don't know, Bruce,
Here,
200
Tim.
pages? There, she's
It
got
looks like this.
Okay, that's what it looks like. So that's what we normally have to go through. We just decided to cut out all the background if that's something you guys want as the background, but the AIA document actually tells you for each subcontractor that's being paid what portion of the work they've done, what the percentage is, what the retainage is, all those different things is in there, and that's been verified. So we have processed that, given it back to Mario and Connie to do their thing, but as you guys talked about last time, you wanted to vote on it to pass it forward to council based upon the controlling of that fund. So we just wanted to bring those to you. I don't know how you want to approve the previous ones, if you just want to do it blanketly tonight, however you guys want to do it. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer that.
I
Because,
would just like to say, I would like to get a copy
Okay.
of those, if you don't
Yeah.
mind.
okay. This is 19.
This
Because
is
it-
19, so
it-
we got 1 through 18 on the one sheet, and then 19 is the
This
next
is
one.
19,
Okay.
yeah.
Any questions from anybody?
Is there anybody else that wants to see the entire packet every time we get one? Because we can do that.
Yeah, I'll take one as well.
Okay. Just to cut
Anything
down
else
on
from the
200
board?
pages. It comes digitally too. I don't know if that's better. I mean, if you would.
Digital would be fine.
Okay, that way we don't have to print it out, but we can get it to Connie in a PDF form, and she can get it to everybody,
Okay.
if that's easier for you.
there's some trees.
Be fine. Anybody else have anything?
No, I'll make a motion, we pay all the claims.
Have a motion? Do we have a second? First and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Move on to old business. Leslie Votaw, 353 Short Street, and letters in the packet.
The request for proposals that was sent to the register, I made a mistake on the first paragraph. It does say buildings and lot located at 353 Short. It's just I use these forms over and over again. I did change the top for just purchase of property because I believe before it had said building and lot. However, it may be incorrect as far as how it's stated to in the paper. It is only shown once, and Mr. Cook called me and told me about the discrepancy. I do see in the meeting minutes that the wording for the RFPs will be discussed at the next meeting today. And I must not have that in my notes as far as the wording. I think what I did was just look at, where the property is, and you describe the property, which would be in that third paragraph. And we were just inserting getting the property developed, I think is what the main goal was of the board. But just brought it in front of you today because I wasn't sure if you wanted me to re-advertise it, recant the first one. We could probably still do that in time for the July 8th meeting, or, it may need to go to the August meeting. I don't know. I mean, that would be up to you. I do need to tell you I am out basically the rest of this week. I can probably get a new one submitted this week if I need to, but I won't be back in the office until Monday.
So the wording for this property was supposed to be discussed at the next meeting?
At this meeting,
Oh, at this,
yeah. And I didn't write down any notes as to that amount, to that effect. So when I was looking through it and did it, but I did not take out the part that said buildings, and so that doesn't describe the property because it's vacant land, or it's, vacant lot.
what would the board like to do?
Lisa, I got a question, hon. On these properties, if they purchase them and stuff, we getting husband and wife on their signatures, right? I know we got a little bit of problem with the concrete program where just one of them signed.
Yes, we would definitely want to do that.
Okay.
Because if it came down to any kind of dissolution of the marriage, then the lien would not be on the property if it's owned by the husband and wife.
Is this something the board wants to discuss today, or do you want to wait until the next meeting to discuss the
Yeah, I don't know
wording?
that any
Or
have been submitted. I haven't checked with Jackie to see if any have been submitted to date. Most of the time, we do get them pretty close to the date of the meeting, But if they didn't know to look, that's the problem,
Or can we run something in the paper to
Yeah,
let everybody know
Yeah,
There's no building.
right. I could do that and then.
and republish?
And then republish it with just the lot. That probably, if we do get it there by tomorrow, it would be next Tuesday's paper. So that would be the 2nd, which is only before the 8th. So I don't know if that's,
I'd say maybe put something in the paper
we might be able to get it.
just to
for Thursday.
retract what's been put in there and just push it to the following meeting as far as the deadline. That'd be okay with the board, or
It's fine with me.
Fine with me.
for the August meeting?
Well, sorry about that. It was just a typo, but it does make a big difference because there are no buildings. So, all right, so
And is everybody okay with the rest of the wording?
Yeah, I think I was
I'm fine.
RFP published, and do you remember what date that was published there? Aaron, was that just last Thursday, or? It
Or day I
was,
called you, it was published a day before that, so I gave them a day late in the mail.
well, it wasn't
I'm not
Friday,
sure.
it wasn't Friday that you called me, so it must have been
Tuesday.
Tuesdays.
So it was probably on Tuesday and Thursdays then.
No, I only did it once.
Oh, okay.
Recant previous survey published on Tuesday, which was the 18th. And then publish, correct, on, or for the, do you know the date on August by chance? Anybody?
The August 2nd, the 12th, second Monday, right?
Yeah. Okay, we'll do that.
Okay, 353 Short Street's taken care of.
Then the other letters in your packet are just for your information. We did send a letter to 339 Arch Street, the tenant. I do believe that Grant has talked to Council Member Pope about Mr. Bose and that he may be back this week or next week. He was out of town, so we're just trying to get an appraisal of the property, and we need to get coordination with the tenant and the owner. So that's that letter. And then the 3 letters that went out to the ones that you wanted to purchase, we did receive responses on Mr. Caudell and Mr. Hummel. On Mr. Caudell, we have the purchase agreement done. Just need to forward it to our title company for closing, for title search and closing. And then on Mr. Hummel, Grant and I had spoken about, Mr. Hummel does have a loan with the city. I don't know how that would work, but I did bring it up to him, obviously giving him the money and he still owes. And I don't know the amount of that loan. Our office is looking at to see exactly where he is. We do know he's current, but he still owes money on a loan that they got. So
Is this property collateral for
I
that
don't
loan?
know if no, I don't believe that our loan program would have had that as collateral. It's through our loan program, revolving loan. So no, I don't believe so. But I've looked over the loans briefly when we had to do the subpoena and everything. But Ms. Schwartz in my office has all the loan files, and we're going over the loan files, going on the ones that we need to. You know, right now she's working on, like I told you before the meeting, the Linkmeyer loans. But this is the next one on our list to look at. And he wasn't adverse to paying some or all of it off in exchange, or maybe putting lump sum, or even in any type of purchase agreement, we could fashion something to say that, he's just basically that he knows he owes a loan and he intends, but I don't think his balloon payment is until I'm not sure, but like 2015, as far as when he's done with the loan. So, I mean,
As long as he's current, too.
yeah, as long as he's current, I think that we could probably just do a normal purchase agreement. But if there's any delinquency, we might want to look at offsetting that in this purchase agreement.
As long as the balloon is that
Right.
far off.
Right. So, and then Miss Reese, Miss Hill, I'm not sure what she goes by. I've not heard anything back on that one, so.
So the Caudell property is accepted.
And that's gonna be.
We're working with Hummel.
Basically, I got the contract with me tonight, have Grant sign it, or you sign it, whichever, and, we can set that for, title search and closing.
And the one that's no response is this Bosey?
The 339, we're just wanting to get appraisals, and I have appraisals set up with the people, but they can't do the appraisals until they have, contact with the people that live there and the owner.
Anything else, Leslie?
Nope, that's all I have.
Anybody from the board have anything?
You wanna know how much loan Hummel has?
Okay.
It's $85,000.
That's the starting balance, or what's owed?
Yeah,
That was the loan
starting.
amount.
Okay.
Okay.
It was 85,000.
And most of those were set up as interest only, so I don't know how much he's actually paid down on the principal. So
The maturity date was 1/1/13.
was 1/1/13?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's past due.
I don't
Maybe
know
one that's
what
past due.
I don't know I know his monthly payments, but I don't know how current he is.
Okay. That might have been one that that matured last year that, anyway, that's the whole reason that we have the loan files, is to try to work on them, but each one is a story within itself.
So I would think if that's past maturity, he would have to pay that off.
Right. But, I mean, he wasn't adverse to that. We talked about that. I mean, I put it out on the table anyway, so it's one that's probably not gonna be closing anytime soon. We need to look into everything, so. Thank
Does
you,
anybody
Matt.
else on the board have anything?
Just one more thing, it's not on the agenda, but have you found anything out about the 229 Main trade for the two properties?
The trade?
Yeah.
They are, I need addresses.
Okay.
I can't order any appraisals if they don't, I can tell them Fourth and, or they had it Fourth in there, right?
Yeah, fourth in front, and fourth in Main.
Fourth. No, I have not, contacted, I'm working on that though.
Okay.
I got some appraisals set up for industrial, for, those are all being fine, and well, and 339 is the last one that was, I've been working with them on.
Okay.
Anyone else? Any comments from the audience? Motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
Have a first and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Board of Works meeting starts
Next one. And you'll stay for the next one?
What's the first reading?
He's worried about lining.
No, I don't even know what kind of store. I go by there every day, but.
I don't either. And you can't look too good because it's,
I know.
you gotta turn and people behind you. and-
I know. It'd be good to get that out of there. It'd be better if there was a bigger intersection there. Definitely.
Coming from town?
Well, like, I mean, you can't pull out because,
Yeah.
they're like so far over in your lane.
It's not,
like-
yeah, it's not bad if there's nobody coming. If
Right.
somebody's coming, you gotta cut over.
Here's a copy of the resolution. I recycle my paper, and so she copied, she copied like the front and back, I don't know. I should have like X'd it out. The copies I gave her were like on my recycled paper. So you have a copy of the grade committee in there. They shouldn't even be in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see that in
This
the
is
other
the
one.
correct
Okay.
copy of the resolution.
I hear the fire
so-
department beat us. That's what
Yeah.
Turtle said, but I'm like, I have no clue. He said they had a bet, the fire department was city.
I know.
He said we beat them.
She's like, oh,
I
I
don't
copied
know.
what you
That's
gave
he
me,
said.
and I'm like, I know I didn't give you anything.
I haven't heard the score.
Oh, I don't know either.
Anyway.
And who's here with the camera? I don't know. I'm here. Leslie, read this, please, for me. And tell me that it's either okay or I need to change it. Oh, and I need it back.
Hi there. Fine, how are you?
Well, Channel 12 was in today, and then they called me late this
I
afternoon.
don't know where it is.
I'm like, what do you want from me? Well, your name
Oh,
keeps
the dog
coming in
park
all this
sign?
stuff.
Well, I've
I
been
said it's
working
because
on
I
it.
write checks and I send them to clerk
Oh,
treasurer.
she's working on it.
And I'm like,
I was like, is that
that's
something
all
else I
there is.
need to do? What are you talking about?
Oh.
Hey, is this where,
Where is
this
she?
is where Lawrence
Oh,
normally
she's
sits, so-
outside. I can give it to her, thank you. I'll give it to her after they approve it.
Okay.
No problem.
How's it going?
For a second.
Yes, I did, I'm waiting for it to come in. And as soon as it comes in, I'll find a way to let you know. Okay? Yes, I did. I did all that.
Pays damn Billy over the city. Oh, he's got millions. I see if he's got millions, why the heck no one pays Billy?
Oh, okay, that's,
Anything else going on over there lately?
oh. Okay. Let's see.
Oh, you lost your money.
He needs to sign those.
What?
Okay.
Oh, did he really?
Oh.
I didn't know that.
Bilbo.
I just talked to him the other day too.
Yeah, they took him to the VA. And that's all $900.
I see him all the time too.
I was like, yeah, I think I tell her.
Right.
Yeah, no one told me. I didn't heard about it. I see him all the time.
Seen you at the
a couple
fair.
times a week. Music on the river.
Oh, yeah, W Walls.
I was in there judging pies.
Hey, that strawberry cake was good.
I'll get with Andy.
Oh, I forgot. There's got some left in the refrigerator.
I'm like a soul trap.
I gotta find it, get it tomorrow. Oh, you know, where, I know, I'm not sharing. I only shared with my girls.
Other 9?
This man, you never see him.
What was their score?
I'm sorry to hear that about Ron, because he used to always
But
give
yeah,
me a hard time.
but Donnie wants to know the score.
Oh, everybody a hard time, really, but you like to tease everybody.
I don't know.
How much are you got?
Yeah, nobody home. I'll tell Roxanne, he stops by Roxanne's shop when he's driving by, cruising by sometimes.
I don't know.
Number 9, it was par 3, and I think they took 5 strokes to make it. Double bogey there.
I always thought it was a stupid game, but that's just me.
They wasn't that good either.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, all my friends play.
I can't believe there's 9 apartments empty over there.
That was in there. I don't know.
Okay.
Put it in there.
I don't know. Let's see
How come they're not renting
what
them
it
out?
is. It's probably a board check, but sure.
there, next to that speaker.
I don't know. No, it's,
I laughed at
You know what I'm
It's,
saying? That makes sense to you?
that cake. That's a long waiting list. Not this long waiting list, one that
well, it might be. It's, no, it looks like a board check. It's $100.
you don't reckon they were.
Yeah. I was just trying to figure out what it was.
What?
That's what they,
Harold Clark.
okay.
Him and his wife, Tom Rogers,
Huh.
and another couple that were in Mexico.
I don't know what we're doing here. Way too much paperwork.
Yeah.
Okay, there's no parks meeting. It's just Board of Works.
Yeah, there's a drawing, you can pay $5.
So-
If you want to get in it, you pay $5, and they draw once a week. If you draw your
Yeah.
name, you get all the money.
Yeah.
It's usually 1,000 something a week, but if no one wins it, it goes to the next week. It can go up to 5,000.
Yeah, well,
Melody and Jeremy.
bid openings, okay.
Yeah, that's probably 1 week's worth then, yeah.
Seagram's Alley, St. Lawrence Alley. I got 2 for each one, I think.
Yeah,
That same night she won that money, her husband Harold wanted to split the pot.
yeah.
Bill, I put a list on there of what I have worked out with AEP.
Okay.
Let me know if there's a problem with it. I haven't written the checks yet.
I've seen JR and Melody.
Okay, I wanna get it done this week.
They say mine was, I was thinking I was like $400 off, so.
Oh, that's okay. What I did was I took your list, the mayor's list, my list, and AEP's list, and kind of worked it
Yeah, I see him all
out
the time. I see him
to see
and
what I
Melody
could
on,
do. And, you know,
yeah.
Gotta get that heart rate up now.
so, you know, if you don't have a problem with what I've done, that's fine. Because I'm gonna write the checks later this week.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what she's gonna be.
The force main coming from, the back of it.
Hey there, young lady, how are you?
Good. You got one of them, where's it? Fairgrounds, I'm sorry.
Okay, here's your AEP list. That's what I've come up with when I compared yours and Bill's, mine, and AEP's.
Okay.
And then these are the subsidy agreements I need you to sign, so I can send some copies back to people. You don't have to do it tonight, you can do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
You got 2 of them, what's that for?
Underneath my building, and I'm thinking it's between my building and,
We could all wear masks.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. I don't need one. It's just your run thing, right? I don't need it.
I think it's in that 12-foot section.
Thanks, sir. Sir?
As built. And I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, Maura and Jane both there. Me, but I'll give this one to Jane. She can have it for more.
Paul?
All right. Good. Good. Awesome.
That's fine. Okay, no problem. I told the mayor, I said, I said,
Yeah.
okay, that's fine.
the whole thing on there.
I said, you know, he said, hell no. It's like, I said, first get a flyer, if they come to me, okay, if not, I said, I would ask you. I said, okay, I'll put you down as a no, that's fine, not a problem, yeah? Okay, well, check with me tomorrow, okay? There, it's a Sunday, 6, 7.
You're gonna have to pick the slack up over there since Ron's gone
I don't
down there.
know. But you can, you know, okay.
Yeah, and I already gave him a statement. I already gave him a statement, I gave him yours.
I'll tell Roxanne
We're gonna
too.
keep an eye on you. Sit right there. How are you?
Like I said, I'll throw a number.
That's,
You never know.
I'll get you my part.
that's why
You never know.
professional. I mean, you bring it up obviously, but.
Hey,
Oh, I knew this.
Oh, I need my pads, it's good.
capping off, and he said,
No. Yeah,
Everybody ready?
yeah.
All right, you guys ready?
Yes.
Call this Board of Works meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Member Aaron Cook.
Here.
Member Donnie Bryan.
Present.
Member Mario Todd.
Here.
Member Bill Bruner.
Present.
Assistant Police Chief Mike Lanning. Deputy Fire Chief Rob Schutte. Attorney Leslie Votaw.
Here.
Utility Director Mel Davis.
Here.
I'm sorry, EMS Director Bobby Mills. Mayor Dennis Carr.
Here.
And myself.
Any announcements? Hearing none, approved minutes of previous meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it. Committee reports. Fire Department, John Tremaine.
Johnny's not here tonight, Mayor. We got a couple issues to bring up here. I know we did we're going to have a work session, and evidently we got that wrong. But I wanted me to bring it up tonight about possibly revisiting another full-time firefighter on to take the position of Fire Chief Johnny Tremaine that went full-time. Something that had to be put into the 2014 budget. Nobody's feel on that, everyone's feel on that. Any ideas or anything like that?
Anything the board?
Well, you did pass, and he did give everybody in the Board of Works,
Right.
A handout,
They
yeah.
want that information, he told me to reiterate it tonight.
How are we doing this?
Rob, I would like to talk to, you, Johnny, and Pat. I just haven't had a chance to get with you guys, but there's just a few questions I have. I wanted to try to get you all in the same room and pick your brain just a little
Okay.
bit, so.
well,
And we can
it
do
may
that
be better-
ASAP, I just haven't had a chance to get with you, so.
Well, maybe we could just set it up, because it originally was set for an executive session mistakenly, because it wasn't appropriate. So it might be best just to get a work session of, with the Board of Works.
I'd be in favor of a
Call
work session.
for a work session. and an
Yes.
executive session.
All right, we'll set one up.
Okay. Another issue we had is, I think all the board members also got some information on, we'd like to increase our part-time pay in increments for based on their certifications.
Okay.
We currently now
Okay.
pay our part-time employees
Huh?
a $10 flat rate for everybody. We'd like to increase
Huh?
that in like 50 cents increments based on their certifications,
Oh.
whether they're firefighter 1, a mandatory, or firefighter 2, an EMT,
Okay.
or first responder.
Fine.
To help promote getting better qualified people and also give them a chance that they could benefit by going up a little bit higher in their education, which would also help us out. Give them an incentive to go further, become an EMT, or get more in just general, from just a mandatory firefighter.
You gonna put this in next year's budget?
But it'd have to be in an ordinance, yeah, and it'd have to be into the, another budget, yeah.
2014.
Revisited on a proposal for a salary ordinance.
I'd like to see us discuss that at the same time. I talked to Johnny a little bit about that also. and-
It's the
We
same
do it in
work
a work
session.
session, too.
Yeah.
Do that in a work session.
Do all their stuff at a work session.
And then finally, the last thing I have, and then you'll be done with me, is to revisit putting on another staff vehicle for my assistant chief, Pat Myers. Basically, our vehicles are used more of a command structure. usually if there's a big fire, we get called out. They'll want some of our command staff to go out, whether it's right or wherever. Also, most of our guys are investigators. They need a vehicle to get out there and carry their equipment in. They have to follow all the city and state ordinances, and, you know, you just can't use it for personal use. He just wanted to revisit that. I know they talked with Chief Honefeld about it, about getting a car, a used car from the police department to see about.
That should be done at the work session too.
That was, not to interrupt, but that was my order of business tonight, Mayor and Board. We have our 2 new chargers in. One of them is completed. Actually, it'll be on the road probably by Wednesday of this week. And at that time, we were going to take out one of our 2007 Crown Vics, and we were going to ask permission tonight from the board to go ahead and give that car to the fire department. It's 2007, it's got real low miles. I think off the top of my head, I'm thinking like 30,000 miles on that car. The one they give to them. So it's a good car. It's been taken well taken care of.
Your Honor, I'd like to discuss at the same time we do the other, and
The work session too?
yeah.
Set up a work session, so I'll just take this back to
We
the
got a lot of
clerk and
questions.
you don't get with the board and set
Right.
a work session then. Thanks.
Thank you. Police Department, Assistant Chief Mike Lanning,
Other than that, Mayor, no report.
EMS Director Bobby Mills,
Come there, I've got, so running over the month of May, we got 120 calls.
okay, new business. Jackie Stutz bid opening for St. Lawrence Alley improvement.
Okay, St. Lawrence Alley. That's the Seagrams. There, I've got this one. I meant, and Seagrams. I have 2 bids on that. One is from Dave O'Mara Contractor.
Are you on St. Lawrence? Or,
Huh?
are you on St. Lawrence or Seagram's Alley?
St. Lawrence.
St. Lawrence?
St. Lawrence. is-
I'm sorry, this is St. Lawrence. And it's from Dave O'Mara. Let's see. Oh, total, $98,150. And the other one is St. Lawrence Alley from Paul Rowe. Oops. Okay, and their bid is, when I find it, their base price is $99,000.
Anything on the board?
What was David?
98,150.
It's awful close.
That would be passed.
I make a motion, we go at the lowest one if it meets all of the criteria that you've got in there, Martha.
Motion or second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it. Have another bid for
Yeah.
Seagram's Valley.
Hold on. The next one is for the Seagram's Alley, and the first bid is from Paul Rowe. Which is for, hold on, base bid is $73,690. And then the other one is from Dave O'Mara. And O'Mara's base bid, or the bid proposal, is $74,123.
74,120.
123, yeah.
Anything on the board?
Make a motion, we go with the low bidder. If they meet all requirements.
Your second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it. Any old business?
And Jackie, just for the record, the Seagram's Alley, excuse me, is actually a city alley, so I don't want people to get confused, think that was actually,
Well, it's, you all put Seagram's Alley on the paper that you put in the packets. I mean, so it's a city alley?
it is actually a city alley, not Seagram's.
Okay.
property.
Your fault, not mine.
I'll take the blame.
Okay.
Any old business? Hearing none, review and discuss claims for board approval.
Motion
So
to
moved.
approve.
Your second?
Second.
All in favor?
Who made the motion? I'm sorry.
Mario.
Mario, okay. I missed that. Okay.
Motion adjourned.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Utility board, 5 minutes.
Okay. Okay. Mike, do you want those bids? That's fine, I just stuffed them all down in there, okay?
Yeah. Caught lots of fish?
I called him
Oh.
up there, or he was up there, I didn't know he was up there.
I don't know.
Let me call you back. He's like, no, I'll chat with you.
Don't know.
Down the road.
Okay.
Yeah. She put her own one in there, because I put it on recycled paper.
JR, do you have?
So there's a.
Okay.
Another one in there about her package.
Like yours, Grant.
But it was so we pressed it.
Hi, Roy.
No, just so you know, it's not on the agenda, there's nothing on the agenda about the grant.
Technical.
You can take these and sign them tomorrow. I don't care. I just need them back when you're done. Oh, and I don't, Leslie, I don't have the number of the resolution. Did you hear me? I don't know. I don't have the resolution number for the marketing. I mean, I can put on tomorrow, but I don't know what it is now.
Did you get a copy of the resolution? The new amendment?
Oh,
Put it up here.
the marketing redevelopment
I have
director.
extra, there it is.
Okay, as long as he's got it, that's fine.
Don't even sit there.
So this is different than the one that's in the packet?
No, oh, I don't
There was
know.
a mistake.
There was one in the packet, okay. I don't know.
The one at 2012 on it, huh?
Okay, these
Oh,
are
but
my,
one thing she still didn't fix is her number drawing. It's 1, 2, 2, 3.
On the one in the packet.
you can fix that. You know, it's not a, oh, here. Let's see. Okay, this is the one that was in the packet. So we're not doing that, okay? We will tear that one up.
The marketing director.
Just so I don't get them wrong.
Second page.
Too many pieces of paper. Yeah? Leslie just went back. She'll be back in a minute. We got a minute or two
I say.
on your 5.
Yeah, but I know one difference.
No, Roy.
Paul. I got your check after, wait a minute, okay, after council approves them, I'll give it to her. I told her I'd bring it tonight.
Okay, so this one's.
Oh, okay, it's hers, okay, no problem. No, I have no problem
Kind of a corrected version.
whatsoever. Okay, let's see, we're doing, okay, then we do minutes. Motion. Second. Okay. Committee.
Thank you.
I did that, I gotta change this,
Country.
okay.
In the country? I know. Out there. Huh? It's out there.
Okay. Okay. Now, we have to make a decision again. I thought we said that if somebody wanted money or something, they had to come to the meetings. But now Bill's presenting.
This is still
No.
numbered wrong.
No?
No,
You're
I
not?
just put it on there. They have a representative.
Because
Oh, okay,
that
that's
was the
fine,
one thing I
huh?
noticed.
But you know, we've gone back and forth over this, and we need to make
But the
one
last
rule.
page was what was
Right.
wrong.
You know, and that's fine, okay.
You know what I mean? The
I
last
had to
page
get it
was
on.
like.
Yeah,
the-
I was wondering, I was like, why is
Okay,
this?
stop, hey,
I noticed that today.
love you.
It's because I used
Always.
recycled paper and she.
Lot of love here.
Huh?
Lot of love here.
I don't love many people these days, but Bill's one of them. I do,
North
okay.
Utility Board meeting to order.
Yeah.
Roll call, please.
Member Jane Pope? Present. Member Aaron Cook? Here. Member Bill Bruner?
Present.
Member Mike Lawrence?
Here.
Member J.R. Holcraft?
I'm here.
Attorney Leslie Votaw?
Here.
Utility Director Mel Davis?
Here.
Mayor Dennis Carr?
Here.
And myself.
Announcements. Yes, I have one. Utility Director Mel Davis was voted in by the APPA Board for Vice President of the nation. In 2 years, he'll become President of the Board. That's a big thing for this little small town of City.
Huge.
And I think Mel deserves a congratulations for what he's done over the
Yes.
past years. Nationwide appointment too, that's all over the United States. Any more announcements?
No.
3 minutes previous meeting.
So move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Committee reports.
Thank you, Your Honor. In the water area, we're still waiting on specifications for bids on the high-pressure main that we're going to replace that you all appropriated money for back in December. And busy repairing leaks. Sometimes they come in streaks, just like anything else. In the wastewater, the last meeting we had, I told the board that I would try to get a tighter price for that force main replacement over here. And $550 is about as close as I'm going to be able to get without the bids. So the next meeting, Jack and I will have an ordinance prepared for the transfer of funds if that's what you all want to do. In the electric, on 6/12/13, we had what I call a near-miss accident. We were installing a pole in the alley close to Euphemia. The boom of the digger derrick got into the primary, and so I went over, investigated what happened, sorted things out from the different reports, addressed the issue with the folks that were involved, and after my address, it shouldn't happen again. So there was no one hurt, and that's my big thing. Had there been someone hurt, the board would have been notified right after I would have called the ambulance. But I don't like near misses nor people getting hurt, so we got that resolved. On the 138,
I'd like to respond to that.
Sure.
I'd like to make a motion to call an executive session of the Utility Board of Works to hear both sides of the story from both Mel, which he's given his report, and from the individual people that were in the near-miss accident.
Can I ask a question, Mel?
Sure.
Have you done a formal report that you can give to each one of us that tells exactly what happened and?
I can. No, I have not. But I can copy down my report and give it to all of you. Sure can.
Jackie, will you set this up?
Mm-hmm. When do you want it, folks?
I need a second on that motion.
I'll second it.
Of course.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against?
Aye. I'm against.
Can I ask a question? I mean, I'm just curious on why we're having an executive session on an incident.
Because the story I was told is different than the story Mr. Davis presented.
What was different, Jane?
I would like to not bring that up.
I would like to discuss, and I mean, that's up to whoever, about exactly what happened and who done what. I mean, because as my understanding, it was like 240 volts, and I definitely don't want to see anybody,
It was more than that.
or, well, then if it was more than that, then, death or
Probably,
or anything.
I mean, I can't think off the top of my head any executive session exception that would apply in this case, so.
Personnel.
The personnel exception has to do with,
Misconduct.
misconduct or merit.
So can we have a public meeting and
Have a work
and ask
session.
the electric employees?
I mean, I'll look at it more further,
attend?
you know, I don't have the executive session statute right in front of me, but off the top of my head, I don't believe that that's one of them that can be. There's no confidential information. Those are some of the ones that are just, you know, or federally mandated by law. You can help me out here, Mel, but I don't.
There was no misconduct. It was an accident, and I'll provide you all with a written report. Now, after you read that, then it's up to you, whatever you want to do with that. But the individuals that were involved and the individual that was, I felt, primarily responsible, that situation's been addressed. I don't know what else to say about it. I'm not going to mention names in public.
No, and I don't want to either.
And can you tell us how it was addressed? What
Sure.
was-
Sure, he got a verbal warning. There was a situation there that I wasn't pleased with, and I addressed that with him privately. I'm not going to dress someone down in public. I'm not going to do that. That's not what I'm about. But he clearly got the message.
And that verbal warning's under union guidelines. That's first step.
But, I mean, it sounds to me like Jane's trying to keep it, you know, without speaking of people's names, but if
Well, maybe
there is
something
not
that-
a,
She could meet with Mr. Davis and the individual because, and then maybe report back what you can. But I don't feel that there's an exception on the executive session on something like that. I'll look.
If the person was reprimanded, then we can bring it in under personnel.
No, not with a verbal, Jane. That's my discretion. If it goes any further than that, then that's up to the board. But the verbal is my discretion.
Are we wanting to fire someone? or-
No, I don't want to fire anybody.
That's why.
I don't want to demote anybody. I just want the truth out, and I don't want it on me if somebody gets killed because of somebody else's neglect.
Jane, I'm the utility director, or at least I am tonight, but that's my responsibility. My degree is also in safety engineering, and I don't want anybody hurt either. Last year, our utility employees got a perfect record with no lost time. And we worked very hard to achieve that. Now, if you don't think that's sufficient, then you and I can meet with the individuals. I'll set up a meeting with them on Wednesday.
I'd like for Mrs. Votal to research that and see if we can come up with an executive session.
Can look at it.
Okay.
But, I mean, meantime, Mel, my suggestion would be to get your report to the
Council.
utility board.
Board.
And then you can go from there.
You would make sure they have union representation there too.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a meeting, it's. Okay.
And Mel, when was the date of that? I'm sorry.
It was the 12th,
Thank you.
June 12th.
Any more committee reports, Mel?
Yes, sir. The financial reports are in your packet from the utilities. And then you all had asked me to, myself and Mr. Johnson, to provide some information about broadcasting the council meetings. We have a running scenario of what we've done. On 5:30, we contacted Comcast about airing recorded council meetings. On June the 4th, we received a call back from Jason Lunderman, and one option is setting up a public education and government channel, which is called a PEG channel. And he was to call the programming director and get some more info. On 6/5, Mr. Lunderman was out till 6:10. 6:24, which was today, we got a phone call from the programming director with our franchising agreement, which did not call for a public access channel. The city would be responsible for any connections and equipment needed to set up a channel. Ballpark estimate is in the low $20,000 range.
How much? I'm sorry.
The low 20s.
Okay.
Another option is leasing time, which would run anywhere from $70 to $400 per video, and that's the best number he could give me at that time.
If it wasn't live, it would be something that would be
Delayed.
telecast later,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Mr. Spears, we contacted him again on 5:30. He was waiting on a quote, and we got it. 500 setup, $400 per disc, at least 10,000 a year. On 6/4, Butch refused to submit anything on paper, said he was told to wait until after the 6/4 meeting for council to decide, and stated he'd already purchased equipment based on a verbal agreement with Mr. Lawrence. And he reiterated that the quote per disc was $500, not $400. On 6/5, we called him back. Mr. Spears stated he wasn't interested in working with the city of Lawrenceburg. We contacted the Register, which is free, and it's online only, through their website, I suppose. And we talked to Denise, and there's no guarantees on publication time. Each meeting is clipped out separately. And then the other option is to do it in-house, and that's via the computer. And then the question we have would be, who would handle the publication of these videos? That's all I have. On that subject. We received a email today from Terry Randall, who is the administrator of Dearborn County. She has requested that we waive the tap fees for sewer and water for the jail project. The fee is roughly $3,000. I'll quote what she says. It's the commissioner's hope that the city is willing to waive the estimated $3,000 tap-in fee as a goodwill gesture. Unfortunately, time is of the essence, as we expect the tap-in work to take place in the coming week. If there is another process and/or board to whom this request should be addressed, please let me know. The commissioners thank you for your consideration. I told her I didn't have the authority to waive tap-in fees, utility board did. That's why you got this message. And it's up to you all.
I'd like to go back to the TV. Why wasn't a copy of what you reported in our packets?
Because I just got it today.
Can we each have a copy of that so we can
Sure.
study it and make a decision?
Sure.
Thank you.
I got it about 5 o'clock.
Okay, what do you want to do with the tap-in fees?
Who's that for?
Dearborn County for the jail.
How's this been handled in the past?
I think Carl, as building inspector on some things, municipalities and cities, he does have on some of them, like on permits and things like that.
Where is he?
It's up to the board what they want to do, though.
Where is Carl?
And it helps out the cities, is what it does. Carl's not here tonight.
Why not?
He had an engagement.
Didn't play golf? And that was why.
It's up to the board, what board want to do.
Mel, it's approximately $3,000.
Yes.
And that, why wasn't that paper in our packet so we'd have a chance to review it?
This was sent to Mayor Carr. It was handed to me right before we came downstairs.
I just received it
And
today.
he asked me
too.
to read it to you all.
Which the city did buy the 2 buildings and donate them to them, along with paying to tear them down, correct? For their parking and stuff?
We didn't buy one of them, we only owned one of them.
Okay, so donated one of them.
Yeah.
And paid to have them tore down, correct, for their parking lot?
Well, we paid part of the demolition, I don't know if it was,
All the demolition.
was that all the demolition?
Yeah, I think so.
Leslie?
Wasn't it like 25,000 was the limit?
How much?
125,000.
Yeah. I didn't know if that was all or part.
Sounds like the city's been pretty generous.
I mean, we charge residents for hookups. I mean, 3,000 ain't a whole lot for the county. I mean, I'd say charge them myself, but it's up to the board.
Put that in the motion.
I'll make a motion to make them pay $3,000 for this
Here, second.
hookup.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it.
I'll let Miss Randall know in the morning.
More committee reports, Mel?
No, sir, that concludes my committee report.
Okay, new business, AC quotes for DC 8 substation.
In the packets, there are 2 quotes for a air conditioning system for the switchgear house at the hospital substation. One quote is from Koch Mechanical, Inc., for $5,626. And the other quote is from Seymour Heating and Air, and that price is $91,000, or $9,100.
$9,100.
I'm sorry. $9,100.
Let's not shock Paul.
Yeah. The purpose for this is there are a lot of sensitive controls in that switchgear house, and there's a lot of heat built up in there, and we try to keep it as cool as possible so those relays don't fail.
Anything on the board?
I'll make a motion, go with the lower bid, Cook Mechanical.
Here, second.
Second.
Which would actually be with tax, because they said tax is not included. And I don't know if you're taxing labor or whatever, but just regular sales tax would make it $6,019.82.
6,000 what, Leslie?
19,
Well,
let me do it again.
there is no tax. We're
Let's say
tax
we're-
exempt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Second the motion to go with the low bid of Coke, 5,600.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it. Any old business?
So one more thing. When do you think you'll know about the executive session, if you're allowed to have it, about the accident or not?
Well, we have a meeting next week. I can definitely
Okay.
let you know next
All
week.
right.
It's just a matter of looking at the statute. If I had a copy with me, I could tell you tonight, but I mean, I've reviewed it extensively in the last 15 months, and I don't think that there's one that would include that. Because there's not any kind of potential litigation. I mean, that would be one of them, but I can look at it. I got an asterisk to do that. I'm gonna do that right away.
Any more, Aaron?
No, that was all, Your Honor.
About to say any more?
No, that's all, Your Mayor.
Did she say we had a
Review and
meeting
discuss
next week?
claims board approval.
I'll move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All against? Motion adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Wait a minute, 6:35. As soon as I find it. Jane Pope? Present. Member Aaron Cook?
Here.
Member Bill Bruner?
Present.
Member Mike Lawrence?
Here.
Member J.R. Holcraft?
Here.
Assistant Police Chief Mike Lanning?
Present.
Deputy Fire Chief Rob Schutte? Attorney Leslie Votal?
Here.
EMS Director Bobby Mills? Sorry. Utility Director Mel Davis?
Here.
Mayor Dennis Carr?
Here.
And myself.
Any announcements? Hearing none, approved minutes of previous meeting?
I'll move.
Second.
I got some corrections.
Of course.
Won't you wait till last minute? What's your corrections?
Okay, on page 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paragraph, we were talking about the salary versus $100 per meeting, and in 212 it was per meeting and not salary. And I did make the statement that it was changed in 2013 to a salary ordinance and salary for all boards. And I didn't say if there's no meaning, they shouldn't be paid. I didn't make that remark. And then she goes on to say, Jane said she is then owed more money. I didn't make that remark.
Okay.
And then go to page 5 of the city council minutes. Jane Pope asked if Jackie would have this person sign a part-time slip for the city. Jackie said this person doesn't want to work full-time anyway. Jane was insistent that this paper be signed. I was not insistent that this paper be signed. I flat asked Jackie, would she sign it? And Jackie said, yes, she would sign it. So I want to reflect in the minutes that you said, yes, she would sign it. And then I made a motion on page 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth paragraph down. I made a motion to cease all loan committee activity until an ordinance was established by city council. She reads motion to cease the loan activity and no ordinance to be done until the loan committee meets and makes a decision on how the program should be run. I made a motion to cease all loan committee activity until city council approved an ordinance.
Chair, you want to make the motion to approve the minutes contingent on, I'm sorry.
I'm not done.
I'm sorry.
Then on the very last page, page 12, when the motion was made about all press releases to go before the mayor's office, it says, Jane Pope asked Leslie Votal's opinion on what just happened here. There was some discussion on the subject at this time, and I don't remember, he very well may have said it, but I don't remember this coming up at all. Aaron Cook said he had hoped we could all get along.
Yeah, and as a courtesy, I did say that.
I do remember
Yeah.
you saying it as a
Yeah.
courtesy. Okay, down to the next paragraph. The $75 per meeting checks, and I asked why the checks were sent out before they were approved by the board. Jackie once again says the checks were sent out before the meeting due to the fact that Jane wanted her money. That is not the truth.
You told me that about a month or so ago.
I said I did want my money, but it didn't have anything to do with when they got sent out. They should have been approved first. And the only thing I said was that I wanted to make sure you went back and corrected
I
everything.
will correct that, Jane, don't worry.
Thank you.
It may not be tomorrow, like I told you the other day when you were in my office, but it will get done.
And that's all I've ever asked for your office, is to do everything correctly.
I have a couple small items.
Go ahead.
On page 10, where it says Brett Robinson came forward and said they agreed to create 4 jobs with the $800,000 grant. Wasn't that $500,000 their grant?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that was $500,000.
Was it 5?
I think it's
Okay.
5. And then on page 11, where it says motion to repeal the existing Grant County ordinance, should be 10 county Grant.
Would I put 11?
No, just put Grant County.
Grant, okay, all right. Grant. Program, okay. I guess I assumed that the number of counties was understood.
Put it in writing.
Yeah, well,
Any more?
no.
Mike, any more?
No.
But we need JR and Bill to amend their motion for corrections, if they will.
Move to make a motion for the corrections.
Okay, Bill?
Let somebody else do it.
Oh,
Second.
okay,
All in favor?
Aye.
All
okay.
against? Committee reports. Street salaries, curb, Aaron Cook.
No report, Mayor.
Finance, J.R. Holcraft.
Check the bills, they all look good to me, and, reports in your packet.
Fire Department, Bill.
Hang on a second, Mayor. Me and Jackie discussed this, and she agreed to make a statement after JR made his statement. Do you remember?
No, I don't remember yesterday, Jane. I'm sorry, that was Friday. You have to say it.
Okay, vouchers 2161 through 2171 was not approved. So
Okay.
we need to approve those tonight because most of the people have already
I already
cashed
sent
those
them out.
checks.
So you guys need to approve those claims. So we need a motion to approve those claims.
Those
Jane?
ones,
Entertain a motion, to approve claims.
I'll make a motion
Okay.
to approve all claims,
Okay.
including vouchers from the previous meeting, vouchers 2161 through 2171.
Fine.
Got a question though, was them claims wasn't there when I looked at them in, or what?
No, that was.
That was the meeting before. You looked at
Last one,
them.
okay.
You saw them. I just gave the checks out before council meeting.
All right.
Shame on me.
Well, and you are okay to do that. We have an ordinance that allows you to do that for certain types of,
Oh, that's probably
services.
not one of those things, Leslie.
We need maybe to review that ordinance then.
Yeah.
Because there are certain things you can cut checks for.
I know. But I don't think it's.
Payroll, including
Yeah.
any, yeah. so-
Yeah, we need to look at that, you and I.
Yes, we do.
Is there a second to Jane's motion?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against?
Aye.
Roll call, please.
Okay. Jane?
Jane?
What's the motion?
To approve the vouchers you just
Roll
talked
call.
about.
Yes.
Okay. Aaron?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Okay. JR?
No.
Okay. It's still passed.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Committee reports.
Well, after finance, who is it? That's not me.
Okay.
Somebody else.
Okay. Fire Department, Bill.
Fire.
I have no report, Mayor.
Police Chief. Fire Chief John Tremaine, or EMS Director Bobby Mills. Okay.
Now, are you done with that?
Yes, I'm done with that.
Okay,
New
whatever.
business. Bill
Okay.
Bruner, Lawrenceburg Lions Club, Little League.
Yeah, I believe we have some representatives here from the Lions Club.
Good evening. My name is Steve Sandbrink. I'm currently treasurer for the Lawrenceburg Lions Club. I serve on their board of directors and also the Little League Board of Directors. The Little League is the Lions Club largest project of the year by far. We probably spend somewhere between $20,000 and $25,000 to support the youth in our community. We've never charged a kid to play Little League in over 60 years. And we've been given a plaque by Little League International for that accomplishment. This year, we had approximately 360 kids playing between the ages of 4 and 12. And at the end of the season, we've decided to put together 5 all-star teams, 2 8 and unders, 2 10 and unders, and a 12 and under team that we'll be sending to at least 3 tournaments. One of the tournaments that we're looking at doing, we just found out that we're going to be hosting part of the district, which is the Star Little League World Series. We'll be playing 6 games down here on our 2 fields on July the 5th and 6th, and we have 2 teams that will be participating in those events. Along with sending these teams to the different tournaments, there's entry fees, and we're also buying uniforms. We're probably going to spend about $5,000 for the entry fees and the uniforms. And I'm here this evening to see if the council, City of Lawrenceburg, would like to help sponsor those 5 all-star teams.
Anything on the board?
If you have any questions, I'd be happy to ask them.
How much money is that, Steve?
Pardon?
How much money would that be?
Whatever, it's at your discretion.
Okay, all right.
Question.
Sure.
I was told that Greendale sponsored $2,000.
City of Greendale did sponsor $2,000, yes. I've also received a couple others and pledges for a couple more also. If you'd like to know about those, I can be happy to let you know.
Can I ask a question? All the kids go to Lawrenceburg schools, is that correct?
Yes, that's part of our boundaries, which we have to supply to Little League International.
And how much money is left that you need?
We've currently received $2,000 from the City of Greendale. We've received $500 each from the Lawrenceburg Police and Fire Departments. We have a pledge for $500 from local bank and another pledge for $500 from a local contractor. So that puts it at $4,000 that we should have.
And you needed 5?
Yes.
Is that- If it's okay, I'll make a motion.
Make a motion.
I'll make a
I got a comment. In claims and invoices, we sent $500 to the Lawrenceburg Lions Club.
That's probably for
That's just our
completion.
yearly contribution. Jack?
Please?
Lawrenceburg Lions Club, we've got $500 going to them.
Well, that's probably from either the
It was...
That would be from the police.
police or somebody.
Okay,
I don't know off the top of my head without going and looking.
all right.
I did receive a $500 check from the
Yeah.
police department.
Okay, thank you.
Fire department already gave me their check.
Mike, put that in motion.
Yeah, I'd make a motion to donate the remaining $1,000 that Lions Club's needed for their all-star team.
From where?
City marketing.
Okay, I just need to know.
Need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Who did, Aaron, did you do the second or Bill?
I did.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Richard Pettit, speeding on Water Street and Second Street.
He's not here,
Dick's not here?
Dick.
Can I say something about that?
Go ahead.
Didn't we vote on that last year to put in speed bumps there?
Or make it.
Hold off to that.
Yeah, we were gonna make some improvements.
We talked about it, but
Well, I think we voted to do it.
Actually,
they voted to do a stop sign, didn't you?
stop sign.
Yeah, not the
Stop
speed
sign,
bumps, the
okay.
stop sign.
But in 2
Yeah.
weeks, they should start milling, and then resurfacing and striping. We couldn't see getting too involved until we knew that was scheduled.
So it's close to being taken care of.
Okay. Bill Harvey, Lawrenceburg School Endowment.
Good evening. I'm Bill Harvey. I'm with the Lawrenceburg School Endowment Corporation. I'm coming here tonight because it's always been a goal or a nicety, I guess, that the endowment pay for the books and fees, school fees that the parents would normally be paying for here in our school area. We receive money from the revenue sharing agreement to fulfill the grant request for educational purposes for Lawrenceburg schools. Over the years, we've paid for entry fees, things like that, to museums and whatever for the 8th grade school trip. We've paid for accelerated reading programs, which last year had great success. The kids that went through the summer, by the time they were tested again in September, I think it was September, they were actually 3 months in advance of the kids that did not attend that summer in their reading capabilities, which was really a good success. We help pay for school-based counseling services for the kids. 5th grade trip to Camp Kern. Last year, we spent some dollars on a science lab at the high school. We've paid some money for early college for the tuition and the books needed for that, which hopefully everybody's aware that the Lawrenceburg High School and Vincennes College have this agreement where the kids could come in as a 9th grader and leave with actually an associate's degree when they graduated from high school. So we help pay for some of those things. We've paid for the books and school fees over the years. Last year, we spent $453,000. Last year, we received only $346,000. The books were $365,000 out of that 452, or 453, excuse me. And since 2009, the book expense has gone from $280,000 up to the $365,000 we spent last year. So the numbers are going up for the expense for the books and fees associated with those. And since 2009, the revenue that we receive is down 17%. You all know that because you're also down that amount of money because we get the money from the revenue sharing agreement. Forecast for this year, 2013, I know I've been here before with Mr. Galey talking about the big city grant, and the mayor's expressed concern about the numbers being down and next year being a tougher year, possibly for the city as far as the income. If in my mind, I think that if we're down 25% in revenue, we only get about $260,000 as our revenue share part of that. And at this point, Mr. Galey believes over the next few years, the book/fee expense could be about $350,000 a year. There's no way we're going to be able to meet that. So I know it's a desire of the board. It has been a desire of the board. I shouldn't say it's been a desire of this board. It has been a desire of the board in the past to be able to pay for the book and school fees that are associated for all the families in the area that go to Lawrenceburg schools. I don't see how we can do that next year. And I guess since budgets are going to start pretty soon, I would think for y'all, I know they are starting in
They already have.
okay. I would consider asking council to appropriate funds in your budget for the books and fees to continue to be covered. I cannot stand here and tell you that I think I can cover them next year from the school endowment funds. I don't know if we can. So that's why I'm letting you know that now, so that your budget process, you may be able to put that into your budget.
What amount are you talking about, Bill?
Well,
How much?
Mr. Gaylor's guesstimate for the next few years, Carl, correct me if I'm wrong, is about $350,000 a year.
Okay.
So, and next year, I believe, is the year you're going to transition from hard textbooks to called one-on-one, so it's more technology-based to be iPads, is that right, Mr. Gaylor? iPads? iPads and then laptops for the secondary high school level. So I don't see any other way of doing it. So if it's still a desire of the board to make sure that the books and fees are covered for their citizens, I would suggest at this point that I think the best way to do that is to try to budget for it.
The full amount, the full 350?
Yeah, because right now, we're spending about 100 a year in other some of those other grants I told you about. And if we want to get about 260, it's going to be hard to keep enough funds going to keep that process working if we don't. So I would suggest that the full 350, if not, what you can, and then we'll go from there. That's all we can do.
I think it's a program we like to do. We started this back when I was on council. It's a very good program. We can put it in the budget and they can vote on it when it comes to budget time.
And something else, Mayor, I thought, would it be possibly the money that's given to the 3 school systems, if it was took out of there before it was split?
Me and Mr. Harvey talked about it. I like that idea too, take it off the top before we send that money out. I think we need to take care of our kids before we give out to anybody else.
So you're talking about, Mike,
Just
take the 350 off the 2 million, then split it?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there'd be the 350 took out, and then whatever is taken out for St. Lawrence you know, like this past year, I think there was, I forget,
30,000 or something.
and
Yeah.
then divide the remainder between the,
I think it'd be the better way to do that. We won't have to appropriate any more money.
Yeah, so that would, I mentioned that to the mayor the other day, that idea, because you're already appropriating whatever that number's going to be next year, I have no idea. You know, because when you gave out the last 2 million, you indicated that possibly could be a smaller number for next year. I think Mr. Gailey heard that loud and clear, didn't you? So.
I guess my question would be, is that gonna work for Lawrenceburg? Because they're gonna get the book money, but they're gonna get less money the other way.
True, but one way or the other, they're going to wind up with less money.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so
I'm
one way or
just
the other.
asking.
Yeah, yeah. And I just have to remind you that the book fees and the, associated school fees, the school itself doesn't pay those. If they don't get paid, the parents do. So it's the citizens in town here that are going to be the ones that are paying it. So Lawrenceburg is not going to get less money as a school system. If we don't put that money up front to pay for the books and the fees, the citizens are going to wind up needing to pay that, so.
Exactly. They're not going to be less than 350. What are you saying?
Yeah.
Because they're going to get paid for them.
I know.
Right.
Together.
But they're not gonna get to do $350,000 of their other stuff. Because they're
Right.
gonna get book money.
But
Yeah.
Mr. Gailey also heard that from me last week as an alternative, and that's why I think Mr. Lawrence brought it up tonight, because we discussed that at our meeting last week, which Mr. Lawrence is a member of as a member of the Lawrenceburg School Endowment Corporation, so we discussed that idea. So Mr. Gailey was very aware, so.
Let's settle it tonight. I'll entertain a motion.
I guess really, we just need to.
Yeah, I just
it's
want to
not
make you
really-
aware to say, I think you need to put it in your budget.
We'll do
so.
the budget.
We
Okay?
can just budget it.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you,
thank
Bill.
you, Bill.
Sarah Popolo and Tarek Hardwell, Legacy Sports.
Good
Sorry
evening.
if I mispronounced that.
It's all right, it happens all the time. My name is Sarah Pipo. I am co-owner of Legacy Sports, which is a nonprofit organization in Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky that really focuses on teaching life skills through sports. We're in our second year. We have 20 teams and about 200 kids that have come through our program in the last year. Some of those being Indiana kids. We have both boys and girls basketball teams right now. We plan on adding some more sports, but we service anywhere from kindergarten through high school kids. Right now, our teams practice in the area. We have some teams that practice at Aurora Rec Center and the Lawrenceburg Community Center, and our teams travel nationally. We actually have 4 Indiana kids that qualified for nationals. Some of those kids will be going, like Sarah Leyendecker and Megan Lawrence, Macy Radenheimer, and Juliana Kemper are just some Indiana kids from the area that play with our organization. We're just looking for some support to be able to get more Indiana kids involved in the program, scholarship money to help offset some of those costs. Our cost for an entire year from October through July 31st is about anywhere from $1,100 to $1,800, just depending on what level the kids want to play at. So we're just here to see if there's any support.
Anything on the board?
I have something, and actually, my daughter's one of them that plays, so you might not like what I have to say, but there's been many people here in the past, and I just don't believe that we should be putting money out to support things. It's not for all of our citizens' kids. That's my belief.
Anything else on board? That would help them. Guys, sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Cindy Nelson, parking on levy.
Oh, she's not here. She called me, I'm sorry. She called me today and asked me to speak for it. I guess in the past 2 weeks, the police have put 30-minute parking up on the levee. And I didn't know anything about that until she called me. And I guess someone actually got a ticket for it. But she was wondering if that's going to be the case from now on, if they can put several, like 3 handicap parking spots up there, because there's some elderly citizens that go up there to park and just drink their coffee and read the paper and just look at the river. And they walk to the bench. By the time they walk to the bench and back, it's over a half an hour. So she was wondering if she could get extended time for those types of citizens or some handicap parking spots. I didn't know they'd put, parking limits up there
Not aware of that.
on the flat portion.
Working with the fire chief to work on getting people out of the fire lane down to River Watch.
Yeah, she says on the, she understands the ramp, but I guess it's on the flat
On the
portion.
flat part,
Yeah.
okay.
I didn't know they put them up there.
In front of UCB.
No, up on the
Up
levee,
on,
but on the
Mike,
flat
up on the
part.
levee, the flat part. Not going down to Riverwatch, but from the monument down.
Okay, Mario, you have something on that?
Yeah, it's at the very top of the levee, right adjacent to where we're working at the event center. The reason they get placed there is that people are actually walking the trail, leaving their cars parked up there. And they may be an hour, maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours. We met with Mr. Seitz, EV, probably 2 weeks ago, to make sure they had no problem with them. So that's what the placement's for.
Because I guess she's talked to several elderly residents with handicap placards in their window where by the time they drink their coffee and I guess walk to the bench and walk back, it's more than a half an hour and it's discouraging them from going up there and parking and they can't walk from the parking garage, so.
We can make a couple handicap spots up there.
Be careful with that, Mayor, because we can't put a spec handicap spot in, just instead of working.
It won't fit?
You said
It's tight anyway.
standards.
All the
What's the
standard
point of
ones.
them? I mean, what's the point of any restriction?
Well, what's wrong with parking there and walking the levee?
Well, the problem is, the people just like you're talking about, like to sit up there and enjoy the levee. Some people are actually walking and riding their bicycles. They'll park their cars there and leave them there for, like I say, up to 2 hours.
Can we change the time to 2 hours then?
Please?
Can we change the time on the sign to 2 hours?
Put a sign and tell
Well,
them.
the only bad thing is, just like you're saying, the handicap, where people go up to enjoy the river for, lunch, have no place to park, because people are actually using the trail are parking as a trailhead.
Because there's plenty of parking down at
At the trail.
At the trail.
Correct.
Can we put a sign that says if you're trail walking, use the trail parking lot?
I mean, we can put anything you like up there.
It's like
But
putting
will
a
they
speed
pay
limit sign up,
attention?
though.
Yeah.
I mean,
That won't do anything.
Yeah.
Her only concern, like I said, was for the people that aren't able to walk from the parking garage or down from town up to there. That's why she suggested the handicap parking spots, but.
We have a lot of seniors use that too, a lot.
Can it be age restricted?
Designate a couple signs for just old people like
I think the
myself.
suggestion that if, that it's only an hour maybe or something like that.
Well, again, the problem is people using the trail. I mean, there's only enough room, probably park maybe 3 or 4 cars that's really conducive to what we have up there.
Well, put a sign up and ticket them. Put a sign up, give them a couple days, and then if they don't pay attention, ticket them.
Well, intent's not to ticket anyone up there.
Well, then I guess the intent is not to do anything.
Well, we did put the signs up there to try to rotate the scenery, allow people to sit up there.
I don't know. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think the 30-minute thing is a good idea.
Well, first of all, it's not a city street to start with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the jurisdiction actually falls with the LCD.
Is it 30 minutes? Is that what you all wanted to do, was 30 minutes?
The LCD agreed that there's a parking problem up there. On several occasions, we've not been able to get our equipment up and down that drive to maintain the riverfront. The 30-minute parking, I don't know if truly they held to the 30-minute, I probably wouldn't have a problem. But frankly, I've seen people get out of their cars on the passenger side and fall into the riprap. I think that's a problem.
Right.
It's just not a safe place to park, quite honestly.
His recommendation was no parking.
That might be better than any and being discriminatory against some,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I mean.
I wouldn't want to stop
Well, I
a
don't think
senior.
we're discriminatory now for 30
Oh, well,
minutes
I'm not
parking.
saying, discriminatory is the wrong word. It's, I guess, see what I'm saying? It's gonna,
Trying to be
it's
fair,
going
let
to.
people enjoy
It's
it.
not gonna be fair to all people, so,
you still park on top of the parking garage, and, I mean, it's.
right.
walk
Or
out
down,
onto the
if
levee.
you, or even down.
The problem was just a lot of people were using it as a trailhead. And Mr.
Well, maybe
Seitz-
put a sign up says parking the trailhead for the trail. Because you have a lot of seniors do go up there and they eat the dinner and everything
Violators
else.
will be whatever.
Come,
Like a stop sign.
you can come to the,
Speed
you
limit.
have to come to the podium.
There's
Joshua.
There is parking.
State your name, please.
Josh Martini.
I know who he is, but I wanted you
I
to
work
do
for
it
the police
anyway.
department. There is parking and there is benches right in front of the upper level of the levee that are handicap accessible for Partners in Health, that are there for the IV tech. And like Mr. Seitz had said, it is a little bit of an issue because where the parking spots are designated now for 30 minutes, from the law enforcement perspective, like it's getting to be unsafe because the way that the cars are parking right there, people are having to go around the cars because they're basically parking in a straight line shot from trail end to trail end where the sidewalks end, and they're parking right there, so people are having to go around. So if other cars are coming up, it's not that it's a huge traffic area. There's not a lot of cars coming in and out of there, but there is a little bit of a safety issue of the rocks right there. There's no curb there. There's a rock there, and then there's a lane for moving cars, and there's benches, and then where the amphitheater, what have you, is right there. There's benches there, there's parking there for Partners in Health and IV Tech, both. So, I mean, just to throw it out more clearly that it's...
Probably here in the near future, there'll be no parking when that event center opens up and that deck is out there adjacent to the levee. There's probably going to be a fire lane at that point. So there'll probably be no parking. And that's probably here within the next few months,
So that's what we're actually leading up to.
probably.
Well, if that's the
Will we
case,
still
then-
be able to go up to the levee, do a turnaround, and take a look at it?
At this point, yes.
Then you
When
might
the
as well
event center
just
opens, will we
make
still
it
be able to
no
do that?
parking.
Yeah, that's
But
what,
schedule,
my
you can drive up or, yeah.
my suggestion is just to make it no parking, then there's no,
And if people's falling into the
there's parking in the
riprap, that's a
parking garage and
liability,
parking
big
at the other
liability
end of the
issue.
trailhead.
I mean,
Get 'em used to it.
practicality, it should be just
Most
clear,
of us, I guess,
clear
they
span
say
through
that.
there.
So I should send them to Paul and EB then?
I was gonna say, the only problem with that, if there's no parking, the seniors will find it hard to walk up that hill.
Well, there's
Well, there's
parking in the
parking.
parking garage, where they can park in the parking garage and go right out level to benches.
Yes.
Maybe making a no parking and put a sign down low
Even on
to
the
go
other
to
end
the
where
top.
the trailhead is, I mean,
I
there's.
know where you're talking
the
about, but a
level
lot
of
of
the
people
parking
may
there.
not be aware of it. I mean, I myself to this day drive up there and park.
2 hours?
No, for probably 15 or 20, 30 minutes.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Um,
And that was whole intent for the 30-minute, to let more people, have time up there.
We parked there and eaten before, and I
A lot of
know.
people, they park, but,
It's-
they're in there
it's not
The only
sitting-
problem I've ever had,
30 minutes and then they're gone. It's ones that leave their car there for half a day.
the only problem I've ever had is people parking on the curves,
Curve, right.
which absolutely makes it hard for you to do your turnaround to
There is
get
a
out of
sign,
there.
No parking, there's a new sign.
Thank
that
you
says
for
no
that.
parking.
Why don't we just monitor this thing, EB? You own the levy, we don't. If it doesn't work, you can make a decision. Okay, moving on. Jackie Stutz Foundation Grant, Phase 1 and 2.
Okay. Let's see. The Phase 1 is Dearborn Highland Arts Council. The project is Arts Alive Arts Fair. They requested $5,813.96. And the recommendation is, from the foundation, is $2,000 towards artist fees, advertising, and signage for the event. And it has been recommended to the organization that it needs to seek other sources of funding for this problem, as DCS programs are not meant to sustain ongoing projects and programs. You want to do them individually?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I say something about that one?
Sure.
If I remember correctly, the Dearborn Highlands Arts Council, I believe last year, same thing. They
I was wondering if
told-
that was the same group or not.
Right, they was told, you have to go somewhere else for funding, and now there's another one in Phase 2 for them also.
Is there? I didn't look at any of them. Oh,
Talked to Fred, I called Mr. McCarter and was asking him about the same issue, and he said that what they're doing is, just because a lot of the things they do are youth-oriented, things like that, they're weaning them off. I know last year was this amount, but he said this year's a lesser amount.
Yeah.
He said, and basically just weaning them off, and he's told them, several times. So I would say that probably this year or next year is probably going to be the last go-around for these guys.
Well, is there any way that, like, if this passes, to tell them this is it?
Well, the foundation told them they're only gonna give them $2,000.
Right.
And they need to go for other funding. I mean, you can do, if you wanna send them a letter or something, that's fine too.
Or maybe send a letter to the foundation? Just, I'm looking at the.
Well,
the
you
one in
need to
phase
send
2
something to the
offer.
Arts Council and
But
tell
do we
them,
need
you
to,
know,
or the
that,
foundation?
please?
Do we need to send it directly to them, or does the
Well,
foundation?
the foundation already told them to look for other funding. That they cannot sustain ongoing projects and programs.
But I mean, they was told that last year too.
Well, I
That's
know,
what I'm saying.
but I'm just,
Okay.
they evidently, the foundation told them again this year.
To me,
They're
it
gonna give-
sounds like that this is going to be the last year, because the amount has dramatically changed from last year.
Well, yeah, they're only gonna give them $2,000 out of $5,800 this time.
I think we should leave it up to the Lawrenceburg Community Grant Program to make the decision. If they submit for a grant again next year, if they deny them, 0, or if they give them partial, that should be their discretion or their decision. Which the way, if Mr. Bruner talked to Fred, if it looks like it's gonna go down to 0.
Put that in motion?
Well, I think they should be allowed to still submit for, grants, and then,
Leave it up to the board.
leave it up to the board.
Okay.
So motion to approve Dearborn Highland Arts Council?
Yes. You making that motion, Bill? I'll second you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Who made the motion? I'm sorry. Bill?
Bill.
Excuse me.
All against? Ayes have it.
Okay, I meant. Okay, the next one is St. Martin's Catholic Church. The project is playground equipment. They requested $2,176, and it's towards refurbishing the swing set with new chains and swings and paint, a new basketball goal and pole and monkey bars. This playground is open to the public and is also used by children during events at the church community building. The organization is providing $625 towards this project. And I don't know if they've done any work to them since I was in school, but if they haven't, they need a lot of work. Been a long time ago.
Make a motion to pass it.
Second.
Okay, I got the second. Mike did.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it.
Okay. Wait a minute. The Southeastern Indiana Art Guild and its advertising for the Regional Art Show, they requested $2,148.30. The foundation is recommending $1,500 towards advertising banners and signage for this Regional Art Show in August.
I make a motion that we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it.
You have to get signatures on these, Jackie, right?
No. My signature, or the mayor's, one of us. Okay. I think the last time I signed them. Phase 2 of the foundation grants. The first one is the Aurora Police Department, replacement for in-car computers. The amount is $43,465 they're requesting, and the foundation recommends the $43,465.
Motion to approve?
Okay,
For a second?
JR.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it.
Okay. The next one is Dearborn Highland Arts Council, the 2013-2014 Performing Arts Series. They wanted $99,567.95. The foundation recommends $25,000 towards this, and they've told them to go seek other funding.
I'll make a motion to approve the 25,000.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it.
Okay. Let's see. The next one is South Dearborn High School softball. It's for a press box in a storage building. They asked for $19,995 for the press box and storage building for the softball field. And this building would provide a sound structure with working electricity while creating a safer environment for the players, parents, and fans.
Make a motion to accept.
There's a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Who did the second?
Bill.
Bill, okay. Sorry, Bill. Okay, let's see. Dillsboro Volunteer Fire Department for a new rescue pumper truck. They requested $100,000. The foundation recommends $100,000 towards the purchase of this. This would replace their 1993 fire pumper truck. It would be a fire pumper and would also carry rescue equipment. This will eliminate the need for 2 trucks to respond to an incident, especially since the members are all volunteer, and those who can respond to a call during the day can be a low number. The total cost of the truck is $385,997. The town of Dillsboro, Clay Township and Dillsboro Volunteer Fire Department are providing the other $285,997 needed for the truck.
I make a motion that we give the amount requested, 100,000.
There's a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it.
Okay, oops, I missed a space somewhere. There it is. Okay, Greendale Fire Department. The project is a self-contained breathing apparatus, and they requested $100,000, and the foundation recommends $100,000. Their current self-contained breathing apparatus are 14 years old and do not meet the current NFPA standards. And the fire department will be contributing the remaining $30,078 needed for this project to buy this.
I make a motion they receive the $100,000 requested.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it.
The next one, Sunman Dearborn Youth Athletic Association. It's for a concession and restroom building. They requested $100,000, and the foundation recommends $100,000, and it would be located at the North Dearborn Elementary School, which is property of the Sunman Dearborn Community School Corporation. And Sunman Dearborn Youth Group has been using this area for the past 30 years for youth football. The organization will be raising $6,000 towards this project.
I have a question, I guess, on that. There was a similar organization last year, I can't remember what on.
It's the same one.
Oh, it is?
But this year they signed a 20-year lease before they didn't have a lease.
Okay, so that's what it is. All right, that was it. I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it.
Whoops. I'm still writing.
Take your time.
I know. Okay, that's that one. Morris Hill, Sparta Township Volunteer Fire Department EMS. The project is turnout gear and, wait a minute. Yeah. Self-contained breathing apparatus. I had to go back and look what it was. And they are requesting $95,200. The foundation recommends the $95,200 for the turnout gear and the self-contained breathing apparatus. The current gear and everything is 12 years old and needs to be replaced to meet current standards and for safety reasons.
I make a motion that they get the requested amount of $95,200.
Second.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
All against? Ayes have it.
The Ross Foundation funded the Dearborn Community Foundation. It's a grant to support the Ross Foundation's charitable works in the community. They requested $100,000. The foundation said they recommend $100,000 to support their charitable works in the community. Now, I don't know what those charitable works are because it didn't list them.
Hey, just for the board's information, when I spoke to Mr. McCarter, he had told me that this is kind of an interesting grant request, that when this is granted, if it is, also the Community Foundation, they're granting $100,000 of their own money, and in return, there is a private individual that's going to donate $500,000. So that's going to put this foundation up to almost $1 million. So, and that's in Dearborn County. So this will bring a lot more money. if granted.
You making the motion?
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second him.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it.
I meant. Okay. Greendale Police Department. I thought we had that before.
That was Aurora.
Aurora, I'm sorry, replacement of the in-car computers. Yeah, you're right, that was. They requested $27,050, and the foundation recommends $27,050 to replace their in-car computers that are over 5 years old, and has been recommended that the department plan for this expense in the future by including it in their budget.
I was just curious why Aurora's was so much more than Greendale's.
Maybe the type of computers, the number of cars, I don't know, Mike.
I heard.
What?
One was cameras, one was.
Oh, okay. No, they were, the other one was
I was thinking
computers.
this said computer.
Wait a minute.
That says car
Wasn't it on
computer.
this? No, it wasn't.
Yeah, they're both in-car computers.
In-car computers, I don't know. I have no idea why. The only thing I can think of is different types of computers, or Aurora has more cars. That's all I can think of.
Different equipment.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it.
Greendale Police Department, the project is an immediate rapid response equipment. They're asking for $17,711. The foundation recommends that amount for immediate rapid response equipment. These kits will include load-bearing vests, foxtrot litters, medical kits, hydration packs, tactical helmets, and patrol rifles. These kits will be stored in each patrol officer's vehicle and will provide the officer with the necessary equipment needed for response to an active shooter incident.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it.
Okay. The next one is the Dearborn County 4-H Clubs Association. Project is bleachers and fire extinguishers. They're asking for $77,443. The foundation is recommending the $77,443 for bleachers and fire extinguishers. It is recommended that other organizations in Dearborn County be allowed to use the bleachers as well. I move to approve the $77,443.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against?
Lawrenceburg Public Library District. Their project is to update youth services at the library, and they are asking for $100,000. The foundation recommends $100,000 to update the youth services area with murals and sculptures. Sculptures will function as a seating and creative play area. And creative play area will be placed in the outdoor courtyard. Murals will be painted on the walls and ceilings throughout the children and teens areas. The organization will be providing $30,670 towards this project.
Make a motion to accept.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against?
Okay. Special Olympics, Indiana, Ripley County. Their project is marketing, equipment, and uniforms for programs. And they're asking for $25,800. The foundation recommends the $25,800 for marketing materials, projectors and screens for training and presentations, uniforms and flags for the addition of flag football for their athletes.
Make a motion to accept.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it.
Okay. The First Church of Christ in Greendale, their project is an elevator from the first level to the basement. Christ, I'm still writing here. They wanted $100,000, and the recommendation says zero due to limited community public use of the basement fellowship hall. So they're saying they don't, nothing.
because it's like not something, I'm assuming that the public doesn't use it all the time, their church is the one that uses it, and that's a limited community group. So,
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Would be to decline it, right?
Right.
yeah. Okay, yeah. Aurora Park Board,
No, we approved their recommendation, 0.
Yeah.
I'm on to the next one.
Oh.
Yeah, I got the motion for that one, right?
Award amount, I don't know. The requested amount is $100,000, recommendation is 0,
Yeah.
and we would decline the requested amount, correct?
And my motion is to go with the.
Approve
Community
what the
Foundation's
foundation
recommendation.
wants.
Okay, go with the community.
Yeah.
So that'd be the approval of it,
Yeah.
sorry.
Aurora Park Board,
3.
their project is to refinish the gymnasium floor and Wi-Fi access. They're wanting $11,220. The foundation recommends $10,500 to refinish the gymnasium floor, which is used daily for many youth and adult leagues. So,
Now, this
Go ahead.
is for their community center? Do they,
it's the park board, I don't know what it just says to refinish the gymnasium floor.
'cause that's only,
I don't know exactly where that
I
is.
don't think they have a community center, do they?
yeah,
Yeah.
but they charge, membership fee and stuff, so
That's cool.
That seems cheap, though.
that's why I'm kinda,
That might be what it is. It doesn't specify here.
If we knew what gymnasium and which building.
it has to be their community center.
Yeah, because it's not from the school system, it's from the park board.
Well, the foundation is recommending the $10,500.
Community center's part of the park board down there.
Mm,
I'd make a motion to accept.
okay.
Any second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against?
Aye.
Roll call, please.
Okay. Jane?
Yes.
Aaron?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Amen. Mike?
No.
JR?
Yes.
Okay. Yeses have it. The next one is the American Legion Post 292, Dillsboro. And they want a storage building with the covered porch area. They were asking for $25,000. The foundation said 0 due to limited charitable community public use for this particular project.
Motion to approve their recommendation.
Okay,
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
okay,
All against? Ayes have it.
okay. I don't know, I've lost track of where I am now. Fraternal Order of Eagles, they wanted ductwork and ventilation. They asked for $34,520.
$21.
$521. And I don't know if this is the Eagles in Aurora or the Eagles where?
It's this one, Lawrenceburg.
This Lawrenceburg?
Yeah.
Okay. And the foundation says $0 due to limited charitable community use of this building.
Motion to approve the recommendation.
Okay.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against?
Okay. Yep. That's it.
Okay, old business, Leslie Votal, Martin.
Mayor.
I had a couple things come bring up, ask about under new business.
Go ahead.
I had a citizen contacted me about, and I think she contacted Aaron too, I think she told me, that she was want to have a graduation party at Ludlow Hill Park. And she had rented a tent and chairs and tables, and then was told that she couldn't put them up, and that if she did, they would patrol the area and she'd be forced to take them down.
Building department said the city is responsible for it if they put the tent up. And it was his recommendation to me not to do it because it puts the city in liability.
I just myself don't agree with that, but.
Well, they should have came and told they was gonna put up a tent.
And then she was told, that you could not revert or reserve a shelter.
You can't.
First
So
come,
she
first
went up
served.
there and there was a sign on one, which she sent me a picture that somebody had reserved it. So she took the sign down, had her party. I guess the guy came, wound up, the police was called and stuff, so wanted to make you aware of that also.
It's been a policy ever since we've had that park here.
Mike, we always tell people that you have to go up there and you have to leave someone there. You can't put signs, you know.
I understand.
But you have to have a person there to hold the shelter or whatever.
I just
Yeah.
don't, the tent thing.
And that's
me,
right.
myself, I don't see.
Yeah, I called
no deal
Carl
with
about
it.
that, but I told her it was the first come, first served basis, because that's what we've always done, so.
And another thing, I had a business owner in the city of Lawrenceburg brought to my attention a resolution that was passed in 2011, and they give me a copy of it, 12-2011, a resolution to establish a policy that all City of Lawrenceburg entities must buy locally whenever possible on purchasing needs. This is to include any entity that receives money from the City of Lawrenceburg, Community Center, Fall Fest, Adult Center, Main Street, RSVP, and any other city departments, et cetera. And that business owner asked me to bring this up and asked that the city enforce their policy.
Who is the business owner, please?
What's the problem?
I promised I will say it's a lady, that I would not say her name.
Well, what's the problem with buying?
The problem is we can't, I mean, I don't know what we can do if the groups don't buy locally.
Now, I will tell you, there's another business owner that he didn't ask me to keep his name quiet or anything, that owns Tri-State Battery. And he has asked me
What's the
about
number on
the
that again? I'm sorry.
12-2011, that he's asked me the same thing, that says the city garage gets all their batteries from Richmond from Interstate Battery, when they could be buying it right here local.
Does he
and-
carry interstate batteries?
Not Interstate.
No.
He carries
But
Deca.
they've always used interstate batteries. That's what I've been told. I don't know whether that's,
I've talked to Mr. Miller about that, and I'm working on the garage to switch over some of this. They told me some of the batteries he don't have. They keep some in stock, but they do buy a lot of batteries from Mr. Miller. The city does.
we
Quite a
pay,
bit.
we
Police
pay,
department uses it, so
we
does
pay
the,
Tri-State a
maintenance
lot.
departments.
Yeah.
So
So-
they're buying equipment from me.
I mean, if that is the case, maybe the resolution then needs to be repealed or rewritten.
Can I see a copy of that?
I was at the meeting, I know when it was passed, but I never did see it, and
Whenever possible.
They do try to buy local as much as they can. But I have talked to Mr. Miller about that situation,
and,
and we are working on it.
okay.
But there's some of the batteries they keep in stock
That he
that
doesn't
he
carry.
doesn't have. But we buy a lot of batteries from it, Mr. Miller.
Okay. Yeah, I know, I think EMS does, I see on, and maybe the
Maintenance
police
department
does, I don't know.
I think fire does too.
And the third thing, which has been a hot topic, the sewer odor. And I know Lawrenceburg does not own the sewer plant there, but I didn't know if, might be possible to request a meeting with the city of Lawrenceburg and the sewer board.
I think
To
Mr.
see if-
Davis is on that board.
He's not here.
He's leaving.
And see if there may be
He
something
is
that
on the
could
board,
be
though.
done to control the odor, which I do know last week especially, there was a few days it was probably the worst I ever smelled since I've been here, but.
Last week, he's been on shutdown. Them tanks are open down there, all the good stuff's laying on the bottom. That's what's coming out.
So I didn't know if there was anything the city could meet with them and possibly work on, if there is a different treatment to,
I don't know
I'll
either.
talk to Mr. Davis, see what he can do with it.
okay.
I never seen a sewer plant that have smell to it though.
But I didn't know if there's anything, a different way they can treat it to possibly knock the odor down so it's not as
I'll check Mr. Davis, see what
bad.
his recommendation is.
Okay, thank you.
Get down with the shutdown, it'll probably get a little better.
Any more?
No, could I ask one other thing on that tent, about the tent? Is there, ordinance or anything in our building that talks about that, in our building codes? And
Carl has that.
Okay.
He just recommended we didn't do that because the city would put liable for it.
I have seen tents up there for weddings, though.
Yeah, I have too, so I was,
I think most of the time they'll come ask the park board in advance, and I think they've been asked to show proof of
That's what,
insurance.
and that's what I told the lady when she called me, but it was too,
Just all at the last
yeah, it was too late though to come before, 'cause I talked to her whatever,
I've seen
Friday, I
people
guess it
come
was, or
from
Thursday.
Parks Board before.
I'd be
That
thankful.
would be the
to
best
do.
thing to do, and then show proof of any, I mean, they'd have
Don't
to.
ask me. I cannot authorize it.
As long as they show proof of insurance, you know, it'd be different, but if not, we're liable for it.
so maybe possibly we could do a ordinance or resolution, whatever be needed to specify what would be required, just so everybody would get the same answer when they call the city.
Yeah, we can set that up. Any more?
Thank you.
Leslie Votal, Marketing Economic Director Resolution.
It's in your packets, and there was a mix-up. We use recycled paper when I'm printing stuff out, especially if I'm emailing and so on and so forth. I did give you a good copy of the resolution at the beginning of the meeting. The only difference was the back page was a different ordinance. It was actually our grant committee ordinance, which is also included in your packet and should be disregarded. So anyway, when things got copied, like I said, there were things on the front and the back, and it got mixed up. But at any rate, this resolution is to employ marketing director in conjunction with the new event center to include the duties of an economic development director as you voted for last meeting. The City of Lawrenceburg and Hollywood Casino are partners in the construction and eventual daily operations of an event center located in downtown Lawrenceburg, and whereas there is a need for representative for the city to act in conjunction with the Hollywood Casino sales team to ensure the city's interests are maintained, including marketing, branding, and public relations for the city of Lawrenceburg in regard to the Lawrenceburg Event Center and Hotel, and whereas, which is spelled incorrectly, the common council previously resolved to fill such position with a consultant or an independent contractor, not an employee, but now wishes to do so as an employee. And whereas council also wishes to add the duties of economic development director to the position. And whereas the city budget provides for such a marketing director position.
My only question is that the city budget provides for a marketing director position, and they're changing the position.
To add the duties of the
Yeah,
economic
to add
development
the,
director.
whatever, yeah.
I mean, yeah, would be the only question. Maybe that would be better addressed by Mr. Grant, Mr. Hughes.
Do you want to leave it marketing director /
Yeah, it's in the budget as marketing director, but this is for marketing director / economic development director. I don't know if you can do
Well,
that.
I guess the question would be whether or not you're wanting to give the person more, because it's now budgeted for $80,000. That's the budget.
I'd like to add a couple things to that.
It's just saying marketing director, it's saying add the duties, so the duties will be in the details. You won't be adding the title, economic development director, right? It's
I
just,
mean-
it's still marketing director.
We will have to, as, they had already, what's the word I'm looking for, advertised for just the marketing director position.
Jenny already advertised for both.
For both.
So it's been advertised now for both of them.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what they tell me. I was gone.
We've never had an economic development director, and the city needs one. And that's a / they can do both jobs.
And the way this is now, it will be a city employee, not a contractor, right?
That's correct.
And then it says that said position will be for a period of 1 year commencing upon the hire date. You can't go past the end of the year because you can't go beyond your budgeted year end.
So they can't go a full year.
No.
Yes, they could. Yes, they could, as long as you budgeted for
Subject to
Subject to
appropriation.
appropriations.
We haven't budgeted for
But you
214
can't,
yet.
how can you give them a one-year contract when you haven't budgeted next year yet?
We haven't hired him.
So this person's not gonna be hired until after the first of the year?
There's money in there now.
I believe there's 80,000.
Yeah.
I know, but it says will be for a period of 1 year commencing upon the hire date. So if you hire them this year,
Then we just use what, say, half of, or what the salary is now, and then January 1, start with the new appropriation, right?
Yes. There's ways to do that.
and then the one other thing,
Thanks.
I just want to share my thoughts.
Share.
Well, that was one. And then the other one, the mayor's office will review the effectiveness and suitability of said consultant or contractor, which I don't think they'd be a contractor the way you change this, but on a yearly basis, and may extend said employment contract accordingly, subject to appropriation. But the mayor's office will review the effectiveness and suitability, so
And that was what was decided upon the last resolution. I didn't change that provision. That was what was decided by you all and resolved at with the last resolution.
I voted against it, so,
Let's work, this should be part of my staff, whoever this person is.
because the appropriation comes from the council, so I was just curious,
And that's why
if
we
they're
have
not gonna
subject
know
to
the
appro-
effectiveness and suitability, how they're gonna know to appropriate the money or not, but.
Well, I mean, that will
They'll
be
review.
presented to you. I mean, that's something that the council will have to, I mean, that was the whole beef last time, is you guys wanted to have a say in whether or not this person was effective. And you agreed to give them a 1-year stint, and, it'd be reported back to the mayor's office, or mayor's office report to you, and you would appropriate them if you thought that they were the one for the job, I guess. And I don't know the resolution number, the prior resolution number.
I don't either.
Where was this advertised at, just locally or Indianapolis or?
I think Cincinnati, I think locally, I think she did.
She did,
That
she did Cincinnati and locally. That's the email I got.
Any more?
So I guess what Mike was saying on part 3, that it would be the suitability of said employee on a yearly basis. And that would be addressed in their employment contract.
They're coming for budget too.
So from the hire date, will they only be under contract till December 31st, 2013?
No, I think
Says
that
1 year on
that you
here.
could do it for a year.
Money hasn't been appropriated for 214.
Well, but as far as
There will be next time.
but they haven't used any of the money this year.
I understand that.
Okay.
I understand
Well,
that.
but what I'm saying is that, I mean, I know there were other things that we carried over and did in the budget last year when we were talking about budget things, so, I mean, and you may want to talk to Ball about the viability of that, but
Thing is, you're not gonna.
you're not
anybody
gonna get
from
somebody for 6 months.
6 months is worthless.
I mean, the hardest part would
And that's
would
what
be
I
to get
worry
somebody
about
for
the-
just 1 year.
That's why I worry about the double title too, the marketing director / economic development director. Is that a common position? Usually you're one or the other.
Well, you go economic development director and part of their duties to be marketing too. That's basically only has lines too.
I think the bottom line
But we
is,
need one.
I
I
know,
think we
the
need
bottom
one
line is
now
I was
bad.
trying to get one.
Then if there was a was the other one a resolution for this position that we talked about before? Because, will this one take the position of that one? Because before it was a contracted employee, so will this override that one then?
Yes, this
Well,
is
because it
as
says
an
that the-
employee and not just as a consultant or an independent
That
contractor.
the resolution, whatever that number was, would be repealed, the previous one. Right, Leslie?
That's correct.
I mean, if,
I'm good with it. We need one. It's gonna
Any more
take,
from Ward?
it's probably gonna take another, I don't know, how long, Grant? I mean, we're still looking at probably a few months at least before they come on board, right? I mean,
Time you get through applications, it'll be.
But yeah, by the time you get the applications and you sit down and do interviews.
So it might even be beginning of 2014 will be
Right.
a higher date, correct?
mhm.
I do think number 3 should be, if you do vote for it, it would be revised to say said employee, not consultant or contractor.
Why are we changing resolutions in midstream? I mean, we agreed upon a former resolution, and now we're,
Because we need an
Things
economic
change.
development director. The city needs, we need to move forward.
I mean, I would just like to look into it till, because we have a meeting next Monday just for the variances from the last one to this one, but that's just me.
You want to table, rewrite the ordinance?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to table it to the next meeting, which is next Monday, with this coming Monday, a week from today.
Is there a
And-
second?
I'll second that as long as Leslie gets us a copy of the original resolution that we just passed not too long ago.
Do we know what changes we're gonna make so that Monday we're not sitting here doing the same thing?
Like I said, number 3 would be review the effectiveness and suitability of said employee on a yearly basis, not consultant or contractor. That's
make it
my
e-
only change.
I'd make it economic development director too.
I did put that.
Because the marketing, they can do the same.
And number 2 said, and I did
And you'll
not.
have those corrections in our packet, right?
We don't have to change to 1 year commencing at all.
I'll look at that. I
'Cause
can
that's
talk
my,
with-
these are a few of my
Let's
concerns.
talk with them both. The motion was to table, was there a second?
A second on the motion?
I got the second.
All in
Jane?
favor?
Aye.
Against?
Aye.
Roll call, please.
Jane?
Yes.
Aaron?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Mike?
No.
JR?
Yes.
Okay. It passed, yeah.
The next thing I have is Jackie Stutz. There was, the case of the Common Council versus Jackie Stutz was dismissed. That's a copy of it in your file. That got resolved. The next thing is Middle Earth. Middle Earth, did give us a letter plus a release and satisfaction of judgment. We did pay in the judgment the very next day after the meeting. I did include a copy of the letter from Mr. Leptek though, because I don't think that you all understood what the judge did. Second paragraph, it says, in closing, I would observe that you can take some small satisfaction from the judge's order on the motion to correct errors and that she agreed that Middle Earth Developers was in breach of the contract. Why that finding did not lead her to granting the motion and setting aside the judgment will remain a mystery. That said, I want to thank you for your cooperation throughout the trial. And gave a compliment to the mayor there. If you are discharging your duties as mayor with the same care and attention you gave to this case, and the state of Lawrenceburg is in good hands. So I just wanted for your information on that. And then Jackie's the second and third reading on ordinance number 1, 2013.
And that was, on that release and satisfaction, that was for $2.25 million, correct?
That's correct.
Plus interest.
Oh, I got a question on that. Is that gonna come out of the city's coffers, or do we have insurance that pays that?
It's the city coffers.
So we're gonna lose $2.25 million.
Because all of the other portions of the lawsuit were already done. You know what I mean? They either got dismissed out or whatever, because
Where's that-
originally it was in federal.
Where's that $2.25 million coming from?
It was an additional appropriation that we did, if not the last meeting, the meeting before, that you all approved.
Where do we take it from?
I may have made a new line, Jane, I don't remember off the top of my head, but you all had a copy. There should have been a copy in the packets, and it was done as an additional appropriation and approved. I don't have it here.
And I have one more question for Leslie. How is it coming with the transcript?
Good question. I asked them after the last meeting. I do know they have the Woolham Liver court reporting service is also helping her. So the thing is on court reporting, people will understand, they have the regular 8 to 5 job, and so any transcripts they're doing on their own time. She even told me she worked some on her vacation. So it was a 2.5 week trial. So I did ask again. They told me they would get more information. She did call me back right away to ask where Marlene was on her part of it, and, they are moving on it, but.
How long ago was that when you checked?
After the last meeting.
After the last meeting.
Okay.
Because that came up at the last meeting.
Any more?
No.
Okay, ordinance 1-2013, second, third reading.
I'm looking for that.
Sorry,
Huh?
I got it if you don't.
Well, good. I know it's here somewhere. Oh. Did you print out a new copy? Did you print out a new copy? We'll have to get it signed in.
Okay.
Amendment to ordinance number 1, 2013.
This is the second and third reading?
Second and third reading. An amendment to the salary ordinance heretofore passed on January 22nd, 2013, whereas the Common Council of the City of Lawrenceburg is required to pass a new salary ordinance for all the union and non-union employees of the city pursuant to the union contract passed by the Board of Works and other employment contracts as provided by law and subject to appropriations. Whereas the Board of Public Works and Safety has entered into a memorandum of understanding with the union whereby, among other provisions, 2 salaries are being modified to resolve pending grievances with the union in order to alleviate the need for arbitration. Whereas the salary ordinance requires amendment to reflect the new salaries. Now therefore be it ordained by the Common Council of the City of Lawrenceburg, Dearborn County, Indiana, that Section 1 of Ordinance Number 1, 2013 be amended as follows. Section 1, the following schedule of rate of compensation of employees of the City of Lawrenceburg, Indiana, Dearborn County, Indiana, beginning January 1, 2013 shall be as follows. Police Department, Police Chief, $1,730.77 per week. Assistant Chief, $1,538.46 per week. Passed by the Common Council of the City of Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Dearborn County on this, well, this is the 24th day of June. Okay.
Sorry, did I print out a new copy?
Okay, I need a motion to suspend the rules, read ordinance 1-2000.
Now, we need a motion to approve the second reading first,
Okay,
because that's what I just did. Okay?
need a motion to approve the ordinance number 2013, the second reading, title only.
I'll move.
Second.
Who
All
did?
in favor?
Bill, did you
I
do?
did.
Okay, thank you, Derek.
All against?
Aye.
Aye.
Roll call, please.
Okay, Jane? No. Aaron?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Wait a minute. Mike?
No.
And JR?
Yes.
Okay. The yeses have it.
Need a motion to suspend the rules and read ordinance 2013 by title only for the third and final reading.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against?
Aye.
Roll call, please.
Jane? No. Aaron?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Mike?
No.
JR?
Yes.
Okay, yeses have it.
Read ordinance
I will.
1-2013 for the third and final reading by title only.
Okay.
I'll move.
Wait a minute. Amendment to ordinance number 1, 2013, an amendment to the salary ordinance heretofore passed on January 22nd, 2013.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Ayes have it.
Jane? No. Aaron?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Mike?
No.
And JR?
Yes.
Yes, okay, yeses have it.
Motion to approve ordinance number 1-2013 for the third and final reading.
I'll move.
Can we do that, Joe? Mayor?
To read by title. Okay, yeah, JR, we need a second.
Second.
All in
Okay.
favor?
Aye.
All against?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Jane? No. Aaron?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Mike?
No.
No. JR?
Yes.
Okay, yeses have it. We will have to reprint this because I had you guys sign it. I forgot that if it doesn't pass unanimously, it has to go to another meeting.
that I will get a copy and have you sign it. Huh? That's yours.
I would like to make a statement that we negotiated with the chief of police and the assistant chief of police in good faith. They both agreed on the chief agreed on his salary, which I thought he deserved much more than he agreed upon. I even put it out there to him. One of my co-counselors said, well, if he doesn't want any more, don't give him any more. And the assistant police chief, Mr. Lanning, was more than happy with his hourly wage. And this was negotiated and signed in the union contract. And there was no cause for arbitration because the union contract was not busted. It was not a union issue to even be taken as a grievance to the union to be arbitrated because they agreed upon what we went back and forth on to accept as the chief's salary, which I still think the chief deserved more than what he accepted. And I think the assistant chief should have been left on salary, but they both agreed, and that's the only reason why I'm not giving them this big jump. It's because of the fact that we negotiated and they agreed to it in good faith.
I'd like to make a comment. And I said it at the last meeting. One, I don't think it could have been arbitrated because there was nothing broke in the union contract. The raises that was originally given to them was given by the mayor with no authority, no appropriation. They accepted it for several months. Even after it was brought to their attention, it continued. We had voted and asked for the money to be paid back. Nothing was paid back. This is nearly 50% raises.
28%.
No.
40-some%.
If you go from last year's to what it was to now, it was around $60,000 roughly, a little over 60 last year to $90,000.
It was 63.5 for the chief.
What we passed for this year. I'm talking about last year's pay.
Okay.
What they received last year. That's nearly 50%, I think maybe 46% to be exact, but a lot closer to 50 than 28. I think that's a lot more money than a lot of citizens, and probably most citizens, make in Lawrenceburg. I don't agree with it, and as I said before, I believe giving those types of raises is asking the state to come down here and take the money, because I've heard that many times on issues. The state's going to come down here and take the money, and for doing things like that, they might. And I just don't agree with it, don't think it's right, and I feel bad for our citizens.
Moving on.
Can I speak, Mayor?
Go ahead.
First off, Jane, if you were so apt on giving the chief more money, you knew that they wanted more money. Why didn't you give them more money?
I offered it to him, and then you said, Mr. Bruner said, well, if he doesn't want any more money, don't give it to him.
You didn't offer him any more money, Jane.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Well, anyway.
I said, are you okay, chief?
And I'd also like to...
Go ahead, Mr. Brenner, he's still talking.
I'm sorry.
It happens all the time. Anyway,
Mr. Miller, talk.
our police department, you know, I mean, you guys can compare us and everyone can compare us, but we are not your normal police department. Our call volume is tremendously high for our area, and there's a reason. We have riverboats on all sides of us. A lot of traffic comes through here. And another thing, just an example, for our officers, this speaks for our leadership and our officers, but we have, a couple weeks ago, we had Cincinnati police officers, Hamilton County police officers, coming down here to get trained by our police officers, you know, in Lawrenceburg. So, to me, that speaks volumes of our leadership, our officers stepping up. So, I don't know. I mean, we can debate all day whether or not they deserve it or they don't deserve it, but this raise has been talked about for many years, even when I first came into office. And they did get raises back then, but it was the same as their other officers got. They never got anything, a lump sum raise, and most of their officers made more than what the chief and assistant chief made. So it was, I mean, I think it was coming, I think it was overdue, but I just think that our city and our officers, you know, I think they deserve not only a raise, but, you know, they do a good job. And the call volume that we take in compares to other cities. You know, I mean, we take in a lot of calls. I think we're 1,000 calls under the county, am I right? And I think they're at 8,000, we're at 7,000. So, I mean, and the closest one, I think, is Aurora, and they're almost 3,000 behind Lawrenceburg, so.
And their police chief makes $46,000.
And that's fine and dandy. But once again, I'm just giving you an example. When you have Cincinnati police officers coming down here to get trained by our police officers, that says a lot about our officers. And I'll tell you, if the Lawrenceburg residents are ashamed of our police department, I mean.
I didn't say the Lawrenceburg residents should be ashamed of our police department.
What should they be?
They should not be ashamed of our police department. I never said we didn't have a good police department. Because given those type of raises of nearly 50%.
Over many years. And
No, they've gotten a raise every year. They got a good raise from last year to this raise.
Well, I'm just.
When you get 3% and 4% and 5% raises, those are not bad raises. And plus the benefits, this is a great place to work.
What did you say, though? Didn't you say the citizens, what did you say, the residents should be what? I can't remember what you
Ashamed
said.
of those raises.
You should be ashamed.
Those types of raises.
Okay.
I didn't say anything about our police department.
No, I'd like to compliment our police department. I think they do a wonderful job. They do an awesome job. And our special crimes unit, they do a wonderful job too.
Moving on. Professional feasibility studies.
These are the feasibility studies that we talked about in executive session, council, and we were needed to bring them up to make sure everybody was okay to proceed with those professional feasibility studies. Can't really go into more than that, other than what we discussed in executive session.
Did we have paperwork on that, Leslie?
I have a question, but I don't know what can be said since it was executive session, but we're talking about voting on about $150,000. Because there was something said that somebody from NDOT wanted to see this, or NDOT wanted to see part of this project. I would like to get the names of the people from NDOT that wants to see this project.
And I would like to see this matter tabled until I have a chance to meet with the mayor tomorrow.
We can table it to the 7-1 meeting, that's fine.
'Cause I would like to contact those people with NDOT.
Put that in motion.
Yes, I'd like to see the matter tabled to the next meeting.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against?
Aye.
Roll call, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jane?
Yes.
Aaron?
Yes.
Bill?
Nope.
Mike?
Yes.
Okay. Whoops, I can't write yes. JR?
No.
Okay. The yeses have it.
Hillsborough interlocal.
This is all under
It's not
old
on there.
business, council. As you remember, the last time we were here, I believe it's the last time we were here. Since that time, we have talked with John Watson, who is the attorney for the city of, our city, town of Dillsborough. and-
John Watson?
John Watson.
Okay.
And also with Scott Fortner, who's
Yeah.
like city manager or town manager. The interlocal agreement portions that I think you all were concerned with at the last meeting, one was the matching funds. I think there was just a little confusion on that. The applicant has obtained loans, which would be their matching funds, And if anybody's gone out to see it, they say basically half the building's already constructed with the funds that they've provided and not drawn on this $400,000 given by the grant committee. So we left the matching funds portion of that interlocal loan. If you remember, there were some changes last time, but basically, it does state, do I have the right pages here? Let me see here. It's further understood that by all parties that the funds released towards the project should be used after all matching funds are expended for the project. The grantee may request in writing modification of this requirement. Any agreement for modification will not be unreasonably withheld by the city. So we basically put back in the language we had in there to begin with that was already approved back in, I believe, the end of last year. The other section, and Mr. Watson, you may want to come up and address this, but is the due diligence portion. We have put in there that further the grantee acknowledges by its execution of this agreement that it has been received and reviewed financial records, which we added received, from the applicant, which would be Multiple Machining, and from the Small Business Development Center, charged with collecting financial information for use in the grant approval process, and based on these records, believes the project to be viable. This was kind of a different situation, if you could elaborate.
I'm John Watson. Thanks for having me down. I'll try to be brief, but it was a little bit different situation, and I don't think either of us actually recognized, but as I understand it, the grant originated out of the county, I believe it was. The applicant was the gentleman who owns Multiple Machining. He had a consultant. They drafted it and listed the town as grantees, but we weren't really involved in the process at all until after, frankly, it had already been in front of the committee and approved. Then they came back to us and said, you know, does Dillsborough support it? We do. So council supports it 100%. We gave tax abatement, and then it was after the fact that we saw the interlocal agreement. And just briefly on the matching funds, we had not intended to cause any difficulty with that. It's just that when I saw how the grant was actually going, how he was actually funding it, I thought, well, let's draft it so it shows the council exactly how the money's coming. But frankly, it doesn't matter whether he borrows it or doesn't borrow it. He uses his funds first, and then the grant gets paid back. So we left that just the way you all had it originally. On the due diligence side, we didn't perform the due diligence investigation up front. So that's the only reason why I was addressing that. But we did meet with Small Business Development Center after we saw what had happened. We did look over their documents and review those. We did meet with the applicant. We have taken all of his documents. And so we're saying to you, okay, we've done that now, and we believe the project to be viable. And that's the only thing. So we weren't actually intending to change your grant process, but it did kind of start. It came to us in sort of a funny way, and we just wanted to explain that. The project is going forward very quickly. Scott tells me that this guy will be done in 6 weeks or less. He's getting his financing through U.S. Bank. We're prepared to get the UCC lien documents that you're requesting, and we will be doing that. They've been very forthcoming in providing us with financial records. We also added just very brief language saying that on the last payment, we'll make a final accounting to you. You know, because you got one in there every 3 months, so we'll make a final accounting as well with all the documents attached. But we really weren't involved on the front end. It's just kind of funny the way it came up. It came as an application that way. We were listed, and so we're happy to serve as the grantees. It just was a little bit different when we got it. We didn't realize that we were in that position initially. That's where we are. I'm happy to answer your questions. Scott's here. Project seems to be going well. I think it's a good one for everybody. So anyway, that's what we came up with. We met with Grant and Leslie. Hopefully that's satisfactory to the mayor. Hopefully that's satisfactory to everybody.
Thank you. So I have brought resolution that you all was not passed last time with the changes that that were presented at that time. The changes have been made to keep in the matching funds, and the due diligence is worded as, you know, they didn't want to misrepresent what their due diligence was when they were put in kind of at the end of it. They didn't do the due diligence that was required to begin with, but did so after they were aware that the town of Dillsborough would be the ones distributing the funds.
Well, can we get a copy of that and then vote on it at the next meeting? On Monday's meeting?
That's fine. Now, there was not a notary for Mary Lou.
Well, it's Leslie, I was present.
Uh-huh.
I notarized her signature.
Okay.
But he just, sorry.
Well, so let me give you the original back, and you can
I'll notarize it.
get that to me.
Forgot to do it,
No problem.
but I was present.
Mine's a little messed up as far as how you printed it out, but
Entertain a motion, table this next meeting.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
so you want a copy, do you want a copy of the, I mean,
The
'cause
new one.
The old resolution should be exactly the same. The only thing we changed is the due diligence portion. So do you want a copy of both?
What we're voting on.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll just do one.
Unless it's like, we did just have provision saying we'll give you a final report.
Okay.
So you had one every 3 months, but if it happens to fall like that, we'll give you a final accounting report.
Okay, he added the final report thing. That's fine. Just, if you want to get me a good copy to me, and then I'll make sure it's in the packets for next week.
Notarize, drop off to your office.
Thank you.
Right in line.
Thank you.
Any comments for the audience?
I have something too, when you
Yeah.
get 2 minutes. On May the 6th, you all approved the money, the extra money needed for the new fire truck. I only have 2 pieces of paper on my desk, and I've lost this ordinance, so I need you all to re-sign it. I have the minutes where you approved it, if anybody has a question, but I need the original copy signed to send to the state. So, and you all agreed to fund the new fire truck, which we already have. But yeah, if you would sign that, please, for me, I'd appreciate it. That's all I have.
Any comments from the audience? Come to the podium, please.
Thank you. That's, oh, okay. Pass that down. I need council to sign, please.
This is regarding the multiple machining.
State your name, please.
My name's Cindy McCool.
Cindy McCool?
Uh-huh.
Okay, thank
I'm the
you.
office manager out there for multiple machining. And I just wanted to talk about not the due diligence, but the other part. And, you know, when we were awarded the grant for the $400,000, we were told, you know, we would get reimbursed 33%, on the dollar. Okay, that's how it was worded with Grant Hughes and Kelly Wills and Chip Carroll, the owner, and myself. And that's what we've done. Anything that we've turned in to Dillsborough, like I believe, if I would have got the number from Scott Fortner, we've really basically spent close to $600,000 already. Maybe a little more than that. And Chip has not used his loan money yet, okay? But we're close to about $200,000 of what we've turned into Dillsborough with all the backup, the checks, copies, everything. And just to let you guys know that, you know, we are taking the accountability and trying to do everything the right way that we were told that it was stated, you know, to us when the grant was awarded. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody understands that, you know, what we were told was 33% of the dollar is what we turn in. And I wanted to know if anybody had any questions on that part. If not, that's fine. We've turned in all our paperwork. And
So for every dollar you spend, you're only accountable to turn in 33%? Is that what you're saying, Cindy?
yes, that's correct, right?
Is
Grant?
that for the grant money or your?
Yes.
For every, in a sense, if they spend $3, the grant money would pay for $1. It's written in the interlocal agreement that the funding will be last, but in our interlocal agreement, it states with the sponsoring agency that they can request that. And they requested it, but it was declined by council at the last meeting. So, the funding will happen after their funding is used.
We are also employing, 18 new employees over the next short period of time. We have added 3 to 4 already, and that's without any help from the grant. But, Chip from what we were told, it was, if we spend $67, we get we spend $100, we get $33 back. And that was what we were told in the meeting. Just
And then you
make
show
sure
what you
every-
spent,
Please.
then you show what that $33 was spent on.
Yes, I have the invoices, the check copies, everything. I've turned 2 reimbursements into Dillsboro already, and I believe they come close to, at the 33%, about $200,000, close to it. So Chip has put in twice that much. Just want to make sure everybody's aware of how we were told it works, and that, from the last council meeting, what you read in the paper is that you guys didn't think we were putting any money in. We've put a lot of money in.
No, the reason it was voted down, ma'am, is they took out the wording that you would spend your money first. That was took completely out. It didn't say anything about 33%.
Yes,
And
it
then, and
It did,
in that
Leslie?
one,
Yes, it did.
but they took that part out about you spending your money first, and then they took out the due diligence. If nobody's checked this project and says that, yes, it's a good project, how could I vote for it?
But the town of Dillsboro has been checking the project.
But that wording was took out of what we was voting on.
Right, and that was my confusion of where that even went to.
From what we hear, or I hear, it sounds like it's corrected.
Okay, I want you guys to know that, Chip has put a lot of his own money into that business. And, just kinda let you know where we stand. I didn't know if you guys had any questions on that part of it. So, thank you.
Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you, Cindy.
Any more from the audience? Hearing none. Review and discuss claims board approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it. Motion adjourned.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Who's gonna say no? Thank you. Sign this.
Paul, where's your charming business partner?
Long day, Lee.
Where's your other half?
Where's the
Yeah?
business owner?
Okay, you want to take that? Well, that will save her a trip over here tomorrow. I told her we'd bring it tonight, but I had to wait till after they approved the claims to give it to you. I might get in trouble again.
Hey, Jack.
What? Okay.